on ad. Ad doesn't work. I have done this. It doesn't work. I have done that. It doesn't work. Ad does not work. So the question is, does ad even work at all? Number two, is ad a strategy? These are some of the things we want to look. What is even the definition of the word strategy? So to get a class, everybody engaged. Now, the first thing I want to do here is today, I need somebody in the class to tell us what the term strategy means. What is strategy? Who can help me define the word strategy? I need, you know, my principle, when I ask questions, somebody must answer, else we don't move forward. So I need the meaning of the word strategy.
Strategy is a plan, sir.
Strategy is a plan. Plan to do Guinea.
Plan to win.
Okay, plan to win. Okay. Okay, since we are even talking about business, first, let's even digress a little, because before we're talking about business strategy, right? So since it's business strategy we are looking at, why not we first of all talk about the business? Let's even ask, what is a business? Now I need someone, I don't know, answer that question. I think that should be Shooks. Now my next question is, what is a business? Let's digress a little. Let's discuss. Let's interact. I want the class to be very... Okay. So someone was saying something. Hello? Okay, any other person can respond, please. What is a business?
Hello? Hello? Hello, sir.
Yeah. Yes, please. Your name? Who is speaking?
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Okay, let me hear from the lady. I've forgotten from a man before, so let me hear from the lady.
Okay, hello, Mr. Chris. I think business is what you do, a plan you set in place to add value to your life. That is what I think business is.
Okay, a business is something you do or a plan you set in place to add value to your life.
Yes.
Okay, so why should I then pay you for a plan you have for your life?
Because you want it to add value to your life. That is why you should pay.
Oh, okay.
So business adds to you.
All right. And one more definition or one more example before we proceed, please.
Hello, sir.
All right.
Hello.
I can hear you.
So I only to understanding. A business is an organization or entity that engages commercial, industrial, or professional activities to generate revenue and profit.
Okay. We are getting somewhere. All right. So the point is that everyone that has spoken have very vital or valid points. Okay. Every point you have made is valid here. But the only thing is that it is more or less incomplete. That is the only thing. And I always say, or even a friend of mine will always say that the name of an item, you can get the full meaning from that thing. And if you understand the meaning or the name of an item, it can easily help you to understand that thing better. So now going to definition of a business, what you have on the screen right now is what we refer to as a business. Number one point is that business must be repeatable, okay? Every process in a business must be a repeatable business, a repeatable process. So number one is that a business is a repeatable process that creates and delivers something of value, just like our sister say, that she wants to add value to me, that is why I should pay. So the point is that business is a repeatable process that creates something of value. So I have to pay for that value, okay? Now, the only thing she didn't tell me is that other people want or need. The question is, the value she wants to create, is it something I need, okay, or want? Because a business is either meeting a need or is meeting a want, okay? So the question is the thing she wants to create, the value she wants to create, is it valuable to me? Or is it something that I want or need that is there? Then let's add a price they are willing to pay. okay, at a price I'm willing to pay. So if she creates that value and I don't see that value enough for that price to be paid, that means I won't pay, okay? That means I won't patronize her. Why? Because I feel like the current situation I am in is not what I value the money with me more than the problem she wants to solve for me, then I won't pay. Okay, so this is how we should always look at things. When you are pricing your products, the question is the value people place on that problem or that product or service you want to render. Does it equate the money you are requesting for? So because people will not pay you based on the cost of what it costs you to, because sometimes let me give you a perfect example. Okay, before that, let me finish the definition. Then next thing is say, in a way that satisfies the need, the customer's need and expectation, so that the business bring in enough profit to make it worthwhile for the owner to continue operation. Just like our last brother said, that it has to bring in profit. So at the tail end of everything, profit is what makes it differentiate between a business and an NGO. So if you are in business, you are not making profit, it means you are running an NGO. All our NGO brothers and sisters, please praise the Lord. All right, now going back to breaking down the definition, because the truth is understanding business will help you proper develop strategy. So there are 5 things you must know in a business. Okay, number 1 point is that it must be repeatable. That is number 1 point. So now when I say repeatable, the process of creating okay, let's use let me use Coca-Cola, for example. The taste of Coca-Cola is constant, okay? So it is a repeatable process. When you go to some pizza outlet, please, if you know you are in a noisy environment, please mute yourself. If you go to some pizza outlets, okay, the taste of the pizza is constant, okay? The taste of the pizza is constant. What that means is that it is repeatable. The process by which they attain or they get that taste, it is repeatable. That is the reason why it is a constant. Okay, like our mommies in the house, when they cook at home, okay, daddy could tell if they are the one that cooked the food or someone else cooked the food. Okay, why? Because the taste is, or sometimes daddy could ask, sorry, are you sure you are the one that cooked this food? Reason is because over time, over the years, they've gotten to know that they've known the taste of mommy's food. So for that, when the process is broken, they could tell that mommy did not make this food. Okay, so that is meaning that business must have a repeatable process. So the process by which you create your value must be repeatable. The process by which you do your pricing must be repeatable. The process by which you get customers must be repeatable. The process by which you generate your profits must be repeatable. And that is why, okay, now I was talking about giving you an example earlier that the price of your product or what it costs you to make your product is almost irrelevant to you, to the customer. The customer does not care. Okay, a few days ago, I took my clothes to the laundry, and the laundry guy told me, I've taken clothes for him before, and this time around, he gave me a higher price. And I was like, what is happening? He's like, bros, you know, our area will not get light. And I was like, okay, how does that concern me? Your area, you not get light. My area get light. We get 24 hours light for my own area. So why should I pay for your area will not get light? So your area not having light is not enough reason why I should pay. Okay, I don't know if you guys are getting the point. Why I should pay a higher price than what I used to pay before. And it's because there's no light, I have to go and get fuel. That is still not enough reason why I should pay more. Why? Because all I need to do is to look for someone that has light. Okay, so it must be at the price they are willing to pay. So the reason he's giving me why I should pay more is not convincing enough for me to pay that amount. Okay, so this is one thing you need to understand when it comes to business. So then, it is not you that determines that the customer is satisfied. It is the customer that tells you he is satisfied. So you need to know what satisfies the customer. What is really the need you are meeting for the customer? For some of you, especially for those of you now in the real estate space, what need or what value are you bringing to the table? Okay, now let me ask you a question because I know some of the answer I will be expecting. So if you're a real estate person here, please on the comment section, I want to know two reasons you bring, two value you bring to the table for your customer. What value are you providing for your customer? Let me see it on the comment section. Why are you, as a realtor, especially those of you that are realtor, what value are you bringing to the table in a real estate transaction? What is the value you bring to the table? All right, let's see the first person. Okay, Dr. Shu say it brings peace of mind. How, please? How are you bringing peace of mind for the customers?
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please, others can be typing, please. Others should be typing what the value you bring to the table. All right,
okay, once a customer buys from me,
okay.
I'll try and make sure his documents are legit and he's buying from a genuine, he's buying a genuine property. So he has his peace of mind.
Okay,
so that's okay.
Let me analyze your reason because of time. Okay, let me start analyzing your reason because of time. Please, who is this person that is making noise in my class? I will just send you out and I'm able to locate you. So back to Dr. Chooks. Now, you say you bring peace of mind, and the way you bring the peace of mind is that when they buy from you, you will try to make sure, okay, which means it is after I have bought from you. That is when you start trying to make sure. I'm going with your words. After I have bought from you, you start trying to make sure. So if the land you sold to me already, because I bought already, if the land was already defected, maybe it's already under litigation, it is that time you try to start solving the problem. So you leave the problem first. Then when I come into the problem, you start looking for how to solve the problem for me. Is that what you're saying?
No, sir. For me to even start selling the property, I should have done my due diligence.
Now, Doctor, still with you, how many do you do your due diligence on all the properties you sell? Can you beat your chest that you do diligence on all the properties you sell?
Yes, sir. I really don't sell much property. I stick to one company.
Okay, you stick to one company. So what company is that, please? If you wouldn't mind sharing.
Okay, Pentland Realtors Limited. I'm actually the GM. Okay,
you do what? Your company name is what?
Pentland Realtors Limited.
Located where, please?
At Sonia House in Asaba.
Okay. All right. Now I don't really know your company too well because today I'm going to be mentioning names of companies. So,
okay, sir, no problem.
I don't know your company too well. You're actually the GM of the company and you do your due diligence because that means you sell your own products, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You sell your own products. Okay, that is fine. I wouldn't want to go more than that for now because of time, so I can attend to others. Now, another person say, Vicky say, I bring confidence to the table. Okay, well, please, Vicky, can you tell us how you bring confidence to the table?
Yes, Mr. Chris, I bring confidence to the table. When I'm talking as a realtor, I'm talking to a client. I want to tell you that I've done my due diligence, that whatever you get from me, you're not going to have any problem whatsoever. And I make sure that as you're getting it, you have the confidence that I've given already. That is why I say I bring confidence to the table.
Okay. Now, let me give you guys an example. One thing is you deciding what to bring to the table. Another thing is the customer deciding whether that thing is important to him or her. So in Lagos, I use a barbing salon, the barbing salon, black and white barbing salon is what I use in Lagos. Now, I used that for a few occasions. The one day they told me, I walked into the place there, I saw that they created another section and they called that section a VIP section. Now, I didn't know. The person the barber I was used to in the salon was now in the VIP section. So I went there to use him. On trying to pay, they didn't tell me. I noticed that I was being asked to pay more. So what's your price here now? He said, no, because you use the VIP section, it is more expensive. Now I ask, what's value? Because the air condition, even in the VIP section, was not as effective as the air condition in this other section. Then the same barber that has been my head was the one that cut my hair that same day. The same clipper he used, the same kind of seat I sat on. So what was VIP about that cubicle? And he said it has more privacy. And I was like, okay, did I tell you I want to pay for my privacy? I don't know if you are getting the analysis I'm making. I didn't tell you I want to pay for my privacy. Privacy in the salon. I was expecting that maybe they would have, like, I had the opportunity of speaking to the manager though after then, that in case this is what I was expecting, if they want to do a VIP section that would get people's attention. Now, try to bundle some of the program or some of the offers together. Because in that barbing salon, there is there is manicure and pedicure and some other things, facials and all of that. Why not bundle these items together? But when you use the VIP section, you get access to all of these things, maybe at a little reduced price because you are the VIP section. That will mean more to me than keeping me inside one cubicle, that there's no security to accessing the place, and all you tell me is that it is a VIP section because I'm inside a certain cubicle. Okay, so the point I am trying to make is that how many customers in the real estate space will want to pay for confidence? Every realtor, every customer expects, it is not extra. Doing due diligence is nothing extra. Let me make it very clear. You are not offering something unique. You are not offering something extra if you say you are doing due diligence as a company, because that is number one thing that is expected of you. Because when in real estate is an investment, and the first thing about investment is security of the investment before you even talk about profits. You first of all talk about the security of the investment. So if that investment is not secured, then it is not a worthwhile investment for the first place. So you need to offer me more for me to see something more valuable than just telling me I do my due diligence. Now, for those of you who say you do your due diligence, now let's analyze it further about your due diligence. If we are to go, I know this is not the topic for today, so I will just try to summarize a little. So if we talk about due diligence, what are the due diligence you really do? Did you take your surveyor to the land yourself? Did the surveyor pick coordinates yourself? And what is the report from the search? What is the report from the search? And aside, like some of you know, there are more to doing a due diligence search. Who are in your team? Because for you to tell me you do your due diligence, I know the people that should be in your team to guarantee that you do due diligence. You have a surveyor in your team. Do you have a property lawyer in your team, or you just have any kind of lawyer? Because not all lawyers knows so much about property. So these are many more other things we need to look at. So the point I'm trying to make, some of the points you guys made are valid, but I'm trying to tell you that these points can easily be countered. That's just the point I'm making. Okay, now KK say I bring market environment analysis so you can decide best environment and reasons to buy from a particular area. Now, this is one thing you need to take note of. I like this response because you don't help the customer to make decisions. You provide you provide the customer with information to make the decision-making process easy for them. That's what you do. You don't make decision for the customer. Just like if you're a legal person here, you have a legal background, have someone who's in the legal space. Most of the time, your lawyers don't categorically tell you, do this. They give you options some of the time. They'll tell you, this is what I found out. We can do this, we can do this, we can do this. It is still left for you, the customer, to make the decision at the end. Your lawyers don't make decisions for you most of the time. unless you empower them to do so. So the point I'm trying to make is that when this person say he bring market environment analysis, okay, so that your market analysis environment would have to include different things, different factors, security, okay? Right? You have to bring security. Now, somebody say you bring trust, for example, like peace of mind. What are the things that should guarantee peace of mind? The property you are selling, how have you possessed the property you are selling? For you to say you are going to give me peace of mind, because one of the things that will give me peace of mind is that you have secured the property. And what did you use to? Because a property that doesn't have, is it that you only sell property that has certain kind of document? Because like I said the other day, a registered survey is not a title. Because I don't know why these days, everybody, when he asks you what document does your property have, they will say registered survey. Registered survey is not, yes, it's a process, yeah, but it's not a title. Okay, so you could chart a land, and some people, I've seen real estate companies selling land with perimeter survey. In case you don't know, this is one thing you need to know. You can chart a land today, the land is free, okay? And you decide to buy the land and start selling. Before you finish selling that land, the government can come and acquire that land or propose, make it a proposed acquisition. What happens at that point? When it is under, but if you have registered the land, which is through the registered survey, at least when the government is checking their system, they will know that, okay, someone is already occupying this space. But if you don't register it, at that point, it is looking to the government, nobody's occupying that place. Because on their system, there's no record of that land showing on the system that somebody has bought this place or somebody is occupying this place. So they could go ahead and write on that land as proposed acquisition. Maybe they want to use it for something in the future. So what happened in that case? So I want to expect that when you tell me you sell peace of mind, you sell confidence, I want to expect that, okay, I only sell land that has specific kind of document or titles. That is only the land I sell. But if you sell land with, what do you call, as far anybody that is selling, that is still selling land with, what do you call it, deed of assignment and survey. Some of the surveys, they even say it's registered. When the company give them to you, you will find out that when the customer decide to go and shut land, that they get to find out that the land actually, that the paper they give to the customer is not registered. I've seen situations like that. And some of you in the real estate space, you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so the points we are making here is, provided you sell land without title, you don't offer peace of mind. You don't offer confidence. Provided the land you are selling does not have title, it is not yet peace of mind. Until at least you register that land, let it have a registered CFO. That's when you are beginning the process. Provided that land doesn't have registered CFO, there is no confidence, there is no peace of mind, because that land can be taken over at any time. All right, but that is not our topic for today. But I guess we have been able to deal with this section a little as much as we can. Because of time, I would like to move forward to the next point, which is our main topic for today. So in course of the definition, like you say, you've already seen some of the things. So we talk about business. So the major factor you should point out from here is that business must be a repeatable process. You must create something of value that other people want and need at a price they are willing to pay in a way that satisfies the customer's need and expectation, so that the business brings in enough profit to make it worthwhile for the owners to continue. All right? So that is what you need to take note of. Now, what is business strategy? Okay. So now we have more persons in the section. So I will ask the question again. What is business strategy? I need answer, please. Business strategy. I need response. So forget that Okay.
Let me just throw a little more light on the business strategy. I think strategy on its own, it's a formula used to achieve a particular goal. So
Okay.
business strategy is more like a formula or a pattern used to achieve a particular desire in business. My own
Okay.
little understanding.
All right, that is a fine one. Any other person? One more response before I move to revealing the response on the screen.
Can I add, make I understand the business strategy? Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Okay, to my own understanding, a business strategy is a comprehensive plan outlining an organization's goals and objective as well. And it's
Okay.
something that tackles an suitable competitive advantage and success as well too.
All right. You have a valid point as well. Every one of you will have a point. Now, but let me go on to my own definition for business strategy or for strategy. Currently, there are different definitions that are globally accepted. Currently, what you see on the screen is the most acceptable definition of strategy in the world, adopted by some of the biggest organizations and biggest brands in the world. Roger Martins is a professor in Harvard University, and he has the most latest work on strategy, okay? Some of the people that have the famous work in strategy are people like, what do you call this guy again? I can't really recall the names of some of these people right now, so let's just proceed because of time. But so now let's start with it. First and foremost, strategy is a set of choices. That's the first thing you need to take note of. Strategy is a set of choices, not one choice, but choices. An integrated set of choices that fit together and reinforce one another. Okay, I'm going to explain as to proceed. Number one is that the word strategy is just, first and foremost, is a set of choices. Choosing what to do and not to do is a strategy. An integrated set of choices that fit together and reinforce one another. Now, the point is that a business cannot have just one strategy. Going by the definition we looked at earlier, we had about 5 points of the definition of a business. What that simply means is that there will be at least 5 different strategies in every business. Or if you say you have a business, you have a strategy document, okay? In that strategy document, there must be at least 5 different strategies in that your strategy document that works together to form a holistic business strategy. So we say marketing is a process of creating value, right? Sorry, business is a repeatable process of creating value. Okay, now the question is, the point here is that when we say strategy is a process of creating value, right? When we say business is a repeatable process of creating value, what that means is that you must have a strategy with which you tend to create value. Okay? You must have a strategy for that. You must also have a strategy that will help you do all other things in that 5 definition. There will be strategy that helps you to help you to satisfy your customers' need and wants. There must be strategy that will help you make profit. Okay, that is why, like in today's world, like in Nigeria, there's a common and annoying strategy most Nigerian businesses adopt, especially those in the production sector. Let's use biscuit for example. When economy is tough, Nigerian biscuit producers will reduce the quantity of the biscuit in the pack. They would also reduce the quality of the pack. At some point, it looks like we're just eating ordinary flour that is joined together. Okay, so that is their own strategy, but it is a bad strategy. Okay, so that is their own strategy of maintaining or keeping profits, right? Now, for you that wants to sell peace of mind, what is your strategy for selling peace of mind? Your strategy for selling peace of mind is by first of all saying that, okay, because I want to sell peace of mind, I do not sell any property without a C of O. That is a strategy. For those of you in Lagos here, you will attest for companies like Xylox. You will never, I've never seen any Xylox product that doesn't have CFO. Okay, so that tells me that this is a company that is focused on the choices they have made is that they want to give peace of mind. And for us to give that peace of mind, we must only sell property with CFO. I also know a company in this Asaba that endorse or that use the same procedure. When they buy a property, they may not have bought that property with CFO, but they won't introduce that property into the market until the CFO is out. That is a company that can beat its chest and tell you, I sell property with a peace of mind. Are we following, everyone? Are we following?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, yes, we are following, sir.
Then he said, these results
Sir.
position the entity that is doing the strategy on a playing field in a way that it is the best in that playing field. Now, when you choose a set of strategy, okay, you choose a market to serve. Some of you as realtor, you want to sell to the poor, you want to sell to the rich, you want to sell to the middle class, you want to sell to everybody. Everybody is your customer, and you want to sell the same product. You sell property for all of the companies that you see. That is already, you can't tell me you sell peace of mind in that case. And I'll be mentioning company, like I said, but let's proceed. Now, the thing is, in that your niche you have chosen, that position you have decided to be, okay? You could be the one that produces affordable property. That is your own strategy. And you also know that the people you are selling affordable property to, they have risk. They know you need to communicate the risk involved in selling affordable property to them. Because the truth is, there is no property that is affordable that is free of trouble. Let me make it clear. There are barely any property you will sell to me that even if the trouble is not today, the trouble might come in the future. Because cheap property are just lands that are yet to be processed. But we'll proceed. Now, talking about playing field. Now, I say for the guys here, they might understand what I want to say better. Premier League, I think, just resumed today or which day. Now, the thing is, football match has started. Okay? Now, there are different players in different niche. There are different players in different niche. There are people that are strikers. There are people that are attackers. There are people that are defenders. There are people that are midfielders. There is a goalkeeper, right? Now, no player can say, I play every position effectively. Not your Cristiano Ronaldo, not your Lionel Messi, not your Mbappe, nobody can say, I play every position effectively. So the first thing first is by choosing where to play and mastering what it takes to play in that field. So you become the best in that position. That is what we mean by strategy. Now, the question is, how many of you have a playing field in your industry? What is your playing field in your industry? Choosing the kind of people you want to sell to is the number one strategy you will adopt. Okay? The number one strategy you will adopt as a business or as a realtor is by choosing your playing field. Okay? But let's proceed as first. Now, these are the different components of a strategy. For you to say you are preparing a strategy, number one, you must have your winning aspiration. What is your winning aspiration? Number two, where will you play? Number three, how will you win? Number four, what capability is required? That position you want to play in, what are the capabilities that are required? Number five, what is the management system? Some of you, thank God we have people who are CEO and GM here. Some of you, the business strategy you have adopted, the management approach you are using is what is the problem of that strategy. Your management strategy is not in sync with your business strategy. because there's a management strategy that is required for every model of business. For example, you say you want to be an innovative real estate company, right? As an innovative, let me even use the banking sector. Let me ask a question. Which bank is the most innovative bank in Nigeria currently? Who have answered to that question? Which bank is the most innovative, technology-driven bank in Nigeria? I need response, please. Hello?
Let me say OP.
Okay. Sorry, I laugh, but unfortunately, I don't really consider OP as a bank.
How?
I think OP is a microfinance bank for the first place. It's not even a normal bank. But apart from that, OP cannot be the most innovative bank in Nigeria. Okay, because of time, let me just. Okay, like a lot of persons have answered already. GT Bank is actually the most innovative bank in Nigeria. Okay, now let's begin to analyze GT Bank. When COVID was ravaging the world, GT Bank was the only bank in Nigeria that was able to function effectively. Why? Because they have built technology-enabled system that if GT don't want to work from the banking hall, they have every technology that will enable them to work without coming to the office. GT is the only bank in Nigeria that has all technology put in place. I'm talking from, should I use the word, an insider's point of view, as someone who has access to their technology, as someone who has a software company and all of that. Okay, so GT Bank is the most technology-enabled bank in Nigeria. Now, how is that? Because of that technology enablement, or because of that vision of becoming the most technology-driven bank in Nigeria, they started a kind of management system that makes them not to see other banks as their competitor, rather they see every technology bank as their competitor. GT Bank is not afraid of Access Bank. GT Bank is not afraid of Zenith Bank, but GT Bank is afraid of people like OPay. GT Bank is afraid of people like, what do you call them? People like Paystack, people like any online payment platform, anybody that offers, they are even afraid of what's called Bet Ninja. Any place where people put money into, GT Bank is more scared of them than their banks in their own industry. But because anybody that can create technology, because the likes of OPay that somebody mentioned earlier, the likes of what do you call it? All the different, is it rent money or what? Not rent money. There are other, all of these online banking, digital banking platforms. GT Bank is more concerned about. GT Bank also have their own online payment platform. They have to come up with their own online payment platform. Thank you, Money Points and the likes. Okay, so these are the people they want to compete with because they own the future of banking. Technology is the future of banking. So now you that says you want your bank to be technology enabled, right? You want to be an innovative real estate company, an innovative realtor. Now the question is, what are you investing in? Some of you don't even have a computer in your office, yet you want to be the most innovative company. Every process in your office is still manual, yet you want to be the most innovative company. Okay, so these are things. So when you adopt a type of business strategy, you must also adopt a kind of management system. What that simply means, like one of the day I had the opportunity, because I have access to a lot of GT Bank top management staff. I was talking some years back, my account officer is not too much of the digitally inclined person, and I had to request for that account officer to be taken. Because I was having a conversation with the branch area regional manager once. I said, for the fact that you are now becoming technology driven, okay? Because for now, the fact that you are becoming very technology driven, you cannot employ anyone. The first criteria of employment must be that the person must be technology driven or must be technology inclined. Then you train them on banking. That is the new thing GT has started. You employ for technology, but train them for banking. So the first criteria for being a staff in the GT bank should be your ability to use technology. Then now be trained more on the banking principles. That is how it should now go. So that's what I mean by management system. But let's not move too much ahead of ourselves. So we'll be analyzing these things one after the other. Before we proceed, questions, please.
Hello, good evening. Hello, sir. My question is that. Hello.
Okay, you go ahead.
My name is Sammy.
Okay.
My question is that now Braka here that you have a lot of people that are into real estate, which they claim that they're into real estate as well. And in Braka, you made mention of such a CFO that if you want to sell a property at cheap, then if you involve something that has CFO. But in terms of Abraka, which only there is nothing like CFO in this like landed properties that are within. So in that aspect, how can we do about it?
Okay, the last time I checked, Abraka is part of Delta State, right? And Abraka is part of Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
And just to answer your question, not to be sarcastic, but the thing is, the Land Use Act that covers the entire country covers Abraka as well. And for that, the lands there, you might not be able to buy them with C of O already, right? You might not buy them with C of O already, but that does not mean that you can't process C of O. I don't know if you're getting the point. Are you a developer or are you a realtor? Let me ask that first, Stephen.
I'm a realtor, sir.
Okay, you're a realtor. Okay, now from what you're saying is that most of the companies that sells property in that location do not have properties with C of O.
Oh, they don't.
Okay, that's your okay, now.
Okay.
Now for the fact that they don't have C of O. Now the question is, do you want to sell property with C of O or you want to sell property without C of O? And one thing that is, I know Abraka is not as developed as some other locations like Asaba, for example, right? Or maybe like Warri. So now government attention might not be too much in that area for now. But the time, one day, somehow, development start moving towards that. I guess that's where you have Abraka is where you have the Delta State University. Now, when because of the university, more things could be established in that area and development starts going around and government start picking interest in the land in those area. What happens to those land without CFO?
Hello, come again, sir.
It seems your network is bad. So, like I was asking, for now, there is not much development in Abraka compared to places like Warri, compared to places like Ughelli, compared to places like Asaba. The level of development in Abraka is not as much as these places I've mentioned. Okay, now, if development start moving towards that direction, okay, and let's say something happen and development become, government start picking interest in that area, just like as government has so much interest in Ibuzo here, right? Government start having so much interest in those locations. What do you think would happen to those lands without CFO?
For me, I guess the land is taken by government because they don't have CFO on it. Hello? I said, to me, I guess the land is taken from the owners because there is no CFO on it, on the property.
It will be easy for government to take over the property, okay? Unless at that point, that's when government will start telling you that everybody should come and register their land. Everybody should come and register their house, just like it is happening in some part of Lagos, okay? So that's the point. So now it is not left for you. Now you already identify a need. Okay, that's the first thing you have identified. That is already a need, a space you have identified. How do you think it will be when one person now come to another developer come into that market and say, well, okay, so everybody here is selling land without CFO. I want to be the first to start selling land with CFO. So I buy land from the community very cheap, process the CFO and start selling it. Do you think the person would drive a lot of traffic or the person would not? I don't know if you are still in the meeting, but here a question from someone else before we proceed.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Hello, sorry, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Let's say, take for instance, you say this person has CFO, and then the other one, maybe beside the land, is does not have CFO, just have deed. Now, are you saying that as somebody that is price conscious, now if I want to buy, and let's say this one is 5 million that doesn't have CFO, and then the one that has CFO, let's say it's maybe 10 million naira. Now, if I want to process my own CFO, I know that probably I can do it at a cheaper rate. Do you not think that that other land has been positioned for more higher price, and then it has therefore give other persons more advantage over them?
The answer is yes and no. Yes, in the sense that, yes, if the person buy the cheaper one, he can go ahead and process the user CFO. Now, how many customer knows the process of processing a CFO?
Right.
Yeah. How many customer knows the process and want to take up that responsibility? Of course, they might want to contact a lawyer. By the time the lawyer will collect his own charges. So these are some of the things you need to look out for. But as a developer in the system, right? I think I've given that kind of example here before. If I'm a developer and I want to buy land from family, and two family are side by side, one says his own is CFO and the other says his own is not CFO, right? And the person who is selling, if I look at the price difference between the both, I might want to go for that one without a CFO. That is also after finding out what it will cost me and the time frame it will cost me to process CFO. So those are the two things I will look at: the price and the time frame and the process. And that's from the developer's perspective.
Okay, well, what do you mean by developer's perspective? Sorry, sir.
When I say from a developer's perspective, let's say I want to buy from, I'm a developer, I want to start up my own estate, and I want to buy land to start up an estate, right? I would want to buy, if I see the two land like that, 10 million, 5 million, okay? Then I will ask what it will take me to process CFO on that one without CFO, okay? I will also consider the time frame, because money, the value of money is with time, okay? So I will consider the time it will take me to start, I have to tie my money down while processing that CFO, okay? Then I will consider how much it will cost me to process that CFO. If the difference is much, then I will go for the one without CFO while and start processing the CFO. I don't know if you get my...
Yeah, I get, sir. So I was just trying to ask that because you said it's sounding like you mean that CFO is a kind of strategy. So because I've had that scenario before when my client was saying this other one close to this place, they are this thing. So are you saying CFO is this amount of millions? So that's why I'm asking if it's really a good strategy for
it
us
is
to
a good
adopt.
strategy, actually. It is a good strategy. That is the point now, is that another thing, some of the challenge most of us have is that we want to win in all the markets. So the person who is choosing to go with CFO, the people talking, can you mute yourself? The people talking, mute yourself. The person who choose to go with CFO must be willing to trade off the customers that doesn't add value or see the importance of CFO. You can't be a company that have put up a strategy that you will only focus on CFO, and you are concerning yourself about the customer that is only concerned about land without CFO. All is after is price. There's no strategy that will help you to win everybody. That is why we say it is a set of choices, because that you are not good. If you're a footballer, you choose to master to be a midfielder. Not that you will not be as good as the person that is a defender. So you mean you must have to trade off being a good defender for being a good striker. Do you get the concept now?
Yeah, I get, sir. Yeah, I understand, sir.
Okay. So let's, because of time, let's move to these items proper. Let's analyze them after one after the other. What is your winning aspiration? Okay.
Now, I wanted to ask a question. Sorry,
okay.
sir.
Let me just take that.
It's a quick one. Okay, thank you, sir. My company is quite new in Asaba, and we really don't have much realtors. That is why when you mentioned that some companies are still doing their things manually, I think I fall in that category. Most of the things we do in the office are manual. We pay commission manually. People register as a freelancer with us manually and all that. So I'm thinking, or rather, I want to ask, we are doing all this manually because we are still small in size. So I was actually waiting for, I'm actually waiting for us to get bigger and larger for me to automate the whole system. So is it proper for me to start the automation now that we are still small, or I wait when we are bigger in size, then I can start that process? What do you think, sir?
Okay, you don't need, the direct answer to your question is you don't need to wait until you are bigger, because it's even more difficult to automate a bigger company than it would take to automate a small company. That is one. Number two, if you already started, let be known as a digitally driven or technology driven company from day one, then when you start, you become bigger, they've known you as a manual company, you have disappointed a lot of customers as a result of your manual process, or disappointed a lot of realtors as a result of your manual process. Now it is when you already have customers that are saying bad things about you, which were caused by us. I'm not saying that because you have a manual process, you always disappoint customers. I'll just give you an example. Because of your bad process, you have disappointed customers who are not saying negative things about you out there, and you now come, that is when you now start rebranding, because you almost adopting technology sometimes will almost look like you are rebranding your process. Okay, it's at that time your marketing costs will become more, because you will start creating awareness that we are not digitally inclined, or we are not this, so it will not start taking people time to start adopting, because you are not just going to adopt that technology at that time, you will also now start having a high cost of training your team members on how to adopt that new technology of digitization. I don't know if you get the point. So it is better at this point, your budget will be small, so you start growing gradually, other than waiting until you are big when things are already very complex.
It's fine. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So now let's move to the next. Okay, now when we talk about what is your winning aspiration, we said the first step in the strategy process is identifying a clear and compelling aspiration or objective for success. This is not just about setting goals, but about deciding what it means to win in a particular contest. Okay? Being the leading company in terms of technology, being the winning company in terms of, in the real estate space, in terms of technology. Sorry, excuse me, being the winning company in terms of technology. So you must have what you want to win at. And it is at this point, and I want to mention companies. Now, how many of you here are P1 Realtor? If you're a P1 Realtor here, indicate in the comment section, or indicate in the comment section. And if you are a Realtor, maybe from the likes of Hoshum, the likes of Chrysler, the likes of, which are the other companies in Asaba again? The likes of Chrysler, the likes of Chrysler, the likes of, sorry, I can't remember as much company as Auto, but if you're in any other company, just indicate the company you are located, or you, as a realtor, a company you sell for, indicate in the comment section. Let's do that first. And I'm going to tell you the difference of each of the company and where they are winning and where they are failing as a result of the strategy they have adopted. Okay, Gidi, you must be a Lagos realtor. Miracle P1 realtor, okay. Any other? Vicky Indigo, okay. Homeland Group, okay. All right. Sahara Spring and so on and so forth. Okay, now I've gotten a good number. Now, let me start with P1, right? Let me start with P1. P1 is a real estate network marketing company. I repeat, real estate network marketing company. And they are the best in this country, if not for the entire Africa. When it comes to, I'm not saying best real estate company, please. They are the best when it comes to network marketing in the real estate space. You can't compete with them and win. That is just the reality. You can't win them, you can't beat them. They are the best, they are good. Okay, they are the pioneer and they have remained consistent in that space. So, since we have some Lagos realtor here, let me give you an example, then I also come to Asaba, since I think somebody mentioned Gidi, and I know Gidi is a Lagos company. Some of you, those of you in Lagos, you know Landway. In case you don't know, Wale was a training consultant to P1 at some point. How many of you that are Lagos realtor are aware of that? That Landway, the guy was once a trainer, he used to train realtor. How many of you are aware of that? For those that like, especially the person that mentioned Gidi. Now, if you have been in the market like 6 years ago, you must be aware, or 7 years ago in the real estate space, you must be aware. He used to come to do training for P1, just like I was doing then. Now, when he started his company, he did not start his company to compete with P1. Because if he started his company, just like someone, I'm saying this because of some things I've been observing in my observation of the Asaba and neighboring markets. Most of you just want to compete with P1 and you want to compete with them from their area of strength, network marketing. And that is why you keep losing. And you keep losing. That's just the reality. You can't beat them. Okay? Now, and their objective is also different from what some of you think is their objective. Their objective is very different. Their objective as a company, I want to read that. I don't have that on my slide, so I want to read it out somewhere. I know I have it written somewhere. Sorry, just give me a minute. P1. Okay, I think it's at the last part. I think. Okay, yeah. All right. So, yes, P1 Property World Africa Network Group is a well-known real estate company in Nigeria. P1 Group is often recognized as one of the pioneers of network marketing in the Nigerian real estate industry. Founded, blah, 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 by the Dr. Augustine, and so on, right? So now let me read out their strategy for you. Number one key aspect of the business is network marketing. P1 popularized the use of network marketing to sell real estate in Nigeria. This model involves recruiting independent realtors or independent marketers who earn commission by selling properties and recruiting other marketers into the network. Products, real estate products. The company primarily focuses on selling land, not the house. For some of you have seen realtors even in the P1 system that doesn't understand the system enough. They complain that we don't even develop. The primary focus is to sell land, and often in developing area, not in already developed area. So when the area becomes developed, that means they need to move away from that area and move to another area that is still developing. with the promise of future development and appreciation in value. So the thing is the future development of that area and the appreciation of that land is what they promise, not development of the estate. They didn't promise anybody development of their estate. So if you are one of those that complain that they don't develop, that was never their promise. So you must know what you are into. Okay? They offer flexible payment plans, making it easier for a wide range of people to invest in real estate. So that is their strength. Now, they are winning when it comes to this area. But what are the areas they are losing? In the area I just mentioned, development. Developing the property is the area they are losing. So if you want to get, so they don't look, if your customer is a customer that is looking for a company that is developing its estate, then P1 is not the company you should be taking them to. I don't know if you're getting the concept. Then you now have companies using Lagos. Now you now have company like Landway. Now I will read up the objective of Landway for you to hear. We are trying to compare strategies here. So let me read up the objective of Landway for you. Oh, where are you? Where are you? Okay, Landway. Now this is the objective: to become the leading real estate development company in Nigeria. The key word there is development. Then followed by providing innovative and affordable housing solution that caters for the growing middle class and aspiring homeowner. Middle class, not upper class. Middle class is their focus. And one thing they focus on is innovation. Okay, innovation is what they focus on more. Development, innovation, and affordability, that is their strength. So that is why when they came into the market, they were the first, if for those of you who know Lagos very well, for those of you even in the south, south, and southeast who know Lagos, who know the Ajah area, from that Ajah down to Ekpe, they are the first people that started fencing their land, that started clearing their land, that said before they start selling. They are the first in the market to do that. And every other person in that corridor started doing cash up. Why? Because they were the leading when it comes to that area. That was their objective, and that is what they were good at. And their properties were also not cheap. Why? Because the work it would take to clear, to fence, to develop the area, to beautify the area before selling, they would have put in enough money. So for that reason, they decided not to also sell it at an affordable rate as much as compared to what P1 was selling as at that time. When Landway came into the market, I think some of their first estates were ranging for 9 million and above, if I'm not mistaken. But whereas as at that time, I see how P1 land that were still around 3 million, 2 million. As at that time, they didn't have any property that expensive in the market. So I'm giving you an example of winning aspiration now. So when you choose a certain strategy, that strategy does not mean that you will win in all sphere of the market. That is not the point. Strategy does not help you to win at all parts of the market. Strategy only helps you to win in specific area. That is why it is a set of choice. So it is a decision you are making. This is the area I want to focus on. That is what strategy is about. Are we following everybody?
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, we are following.
This is not just about setting goals. So when we talk about winning aspiration, so the question is, what is your winning aspiration? What is your winning aspiration? So now let me come to us a place like Asaba now. In a place like Asaba, there is barely a development real estate company that is into development in Asaba. There are, I can only mention maybe one or two. MIC, those I think the owners of a Better Cut. That's the first person I can mention. After that, which other real estate company, a company that is into development. For those of you in Asaba, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that is into development, that are building modern facilities. They're okay, these guys that developed, is it Governor's Villa or whatever you call that place? Those guys too. So there are very few of them that are truly into development. 99% of the real estate company in Asaba, you are all land sellers. You only sell land. So none of you is into development. None of you, the realtor, are working for or consulting for companies that are into development. You are only selling here to sell land. So now let's begin to analyze. So what is your winning strategy? Now, some of you now, you want to compete with P1 at the level of realtor. Can you pay up to 30-something% out of the commission? That's your sheep land you are selling. Can you pay up to 30-something%? Because it's almost 30-something%. I wouldn't want to say how the breakdown is, but those of the realtors here who really understand the business will know that they pay almost up to 30-something% in total. So the question is, can you pay up? For those of you that are developer here or intending developer that are focused on wanting to compete with P1, can you pay that amount? After you pay off that amount, how much is left for you? You see why it is almost difficult to be a developer and also be at the same time a network marketing company. Because by the time you pay up that kind of amount, how much is going to be left for you to begin to develop that property? Estate development is expensive. Some of you buy land. I've seen some of the breakdown of some of the companies I've spoken to. You buy land for, let's say 1 million naira per plot. Then you want to sell that land because you want to be competitive. You want to sell that land for highest 2.5 million naira. By the time you remove 30-something% from that 2-something million naira, you will know how much remain. That is, it will not eat into your own capital. Right? So these are the things we are trying to talk about. So what is going to be your winning aspiration? So if you have a network system that is satisfied like P1, you can say, yes, your strategy is working. Some of you now, you want to emulate P1. You want to pay 10% and emulate P1. If you are a realtor, as for those of you that are developer here, if you are a realtor, and you see a company that will pay you almost 15% and above, let me use the direct commission now, almost 15% and above, and you see the one that wants to pay you 10%, be truthful to yourself. Which will you sell for? So you see why they join your group, but still they don't sell your property. Right? So you can't compete. So if you want to come into the market, right? Now you begin to look at what can I do different? What will make customer choose me? Don't compete with them in terms of realtor. Compete with them in terms of service delivery. What are the things customers are complaining of about this other company that I'm competing with? And how can I make it different? These were similar complaints in Lagos before Landway came into the market. So when Landway came into the market with these features of development, they were able to take over the market within a short time. They started competing favorably with companies that were 2 times their age in the market. Why? Because they came in with something that the customers were looking for us at that time. As at that time, people were tired of buying land with promises. People were looking for land that I can build on right now, land with modern facility, land with appreciation, land with development. That's what people started looking for when Landway came into the market. So, and what happened? They started taking over the market. Even realtors started running towards them. They didn't focus on campaign to recruit realtors. Realtors were not coming to them. Why? Because their products were the things customers were looking for. So the question is, your products, the person you are competing with, your product is even less than, some of you are selling bush. Your product is less than that person's own. The person is paying better commission than you do. The person is, are we together, please? So when you look at all of this, you see why you can't win. because it seems like they are scoring better than you in everything. Okay? They clear. At least some of them clear. They fence, they put gatehouse. You have not clear, say you don't have money to clear for now. You are looking for customers' money to clear. Please, there is what we call minimum viable products, or the minimum amount you need to enter every industry. If the minimum requirement of an estate is that you must clear a fence and put gatehouse, please do that. Go and gather money that can do that before you enter the market. Don't go and be entering the market with low budget and say, when I start selling, that's when I'll start clearing. Don't do that. There is what we call minimum viable products in every market. What is the minimum standard? Just like me bringing up both a new ride-sharing app into the market, whereas almost every app, ride-sharing app, standard app now, are making phone call. And I'm coming in with a product that an app that can't make even phone call. There's no competitive advantage over the other ones in the existence. Why do you think you can win? So this is what we mean by your winning aspiration. So what uniqueness are you bringing into the market? That if anybody is looking for this type of thing, you'll be the number one. What is unique about you in this market? In the real estate market you operate in, if you are in the fashion industry, if you are in the mobile industry, whatever industry you are in, the question is what would make you better than the other? What would make people choose you better than choose you before the other people? What do you have? What are you developing? What are you bringing into the market? Questions, please, before we move to the next point. It's like I'm talking too much now. Class is becoming too cold. Please, questions. Hello, where are they?
We are here, sir.
Okay, so why are you guys so quiet?
Entering us.
Huh?
What is teaching us?
You are sounding very far from the phone, oh, Kelvin. I can't hear you. I don't know whether you are talking to me or someone else.
We are assimilating the word, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. We've been getting a lot of value. So from this section, thank you. Sir, please, I wanted to ask, we as realtors market property here in the Southeast. So maybe if you actually take a close look, you see that most times, most developers are not really in for developing their properties. It's rare for you to find developers that are really into developing their properties. There are some that have come, made their promises. At the end of the day, they disappoint. So it's more like that's what they're just focused on selling land. And watching it, you as a realtor, it's actually something that is beyond your control. Like, it's not something you can manage because you are not the one developing the property. Your own is you are marketing property. So what can one do in this instance? Because I know that there are times that you said that location is not a constant, that we can change location. But if you are trying to master a particular territory, a terrain, before trying to move to other location, what do you do in such instance? Thank you.
Okay, what should you do in such instance? Now,
yes, sir.
For this principle first, somebody said because the question was thrown at developers. The question wasn't actually thrown as developer. The question was thrown to everybody because when you talk about winning aspiration is not only for realtors, only for developers. Let me give you, before I answer your question, Shrisom, let me explain that part first. Now, let me give you an example. I have a realtor that moved into the Asaba market about a year ago. Now, before she moved into the Asaba market, she was somewhere else. And one thing is that she saw when she moved into the market, She saw that the common thing a lot of realtors do is to go to the market, share flyer, talk to friends, talk to family members. That is the common thing most of them do. Now, sharing flyers and all of that will not easily get you to customers outside of outside of your city, Asaba or Niger, anywhere you are. So what this realtor decided to do is to adopt, okay, I want to deal with customers outside of Lagos. And the only way I can deal with this, reach out to such customer, is to adopt digital advertisements. So the strategy was to sell to people outside of Asaba. The strategy was to sell to people outside of Nigeria. That was the strategy. So, and the question, the capability was, what is the requirement to be able to sell to people outside of that, outside of this location? So I don't be like every other realtor. Like I remember one of the comments a customer made to us, say, in my life, I've been watching Asaba Realtors. I've never seen a realtor make a professional video before. You are the first person I'm seeing that is making a professional video in Asaba. Most of them used to make skit video. That's what they make. Okay. Now, because she saw a starving market that are outside of Asaba, but that needed properties in Asaba without going through family and friends. But because, and the capability she had to build was to build capacity in digital advertisement and content creation. That was the capability she had to build. And building that capability, in 6 months, she was the highest selling realtor. In less than 6 months, she was the highest selling realtor among the realtors that are selling for the companies she was selling for. In less than 6 months. Why? Because she saw a starving market, okay? And she decided to think of, how do I reach out to this starving market? Okay, so that was the strategy. So the strategy, first thing first, is by choosing the market. Okay, so that's why I say that the question, or all I've said, yes, I know I explained it from the developer's perspective, but everything, it is not specifically for developer. This strategy or this aspect of strategy creation is not specifically for developers. That is for that aspect. Now, moving on to your question about, now the first thing first is, what are customers looking for? That's the first thing. You don't create a product because I say so. The question is, what are customers looking for? How many customers are asking you for buy and build? How many customers are asking you for, and sometimes they might not even need to ask. Some of them don't ask, but they just come with expectation. Because let's say, for instance, someone who is used to buying land in Lagos, for example, who is used to dealing with real estate companies in Lagos, majority of them might come with the mindset that the estate they are buying is going to come with so much amenities. Why? They won't tell you that, but that is what they have in their mind. Why? Because that is what they are used to. Okay, that is also why you gave them the land, but they still feel disappointed. Why? Because they feel like you didn't give them all that they were expecting. Because there was a perception that brought them to the market. And some customer will even ask you, are you sure this is the price? I don't know how many of you who customer have asked, but when customer are asking you, is this the price? They're not asking you, this is the price, because they feel it's too expensive. Some of them are wondering, an estate this cheap? Why? Because they were thinking that is in what they are used to. Imagine a customer that have been consistently buying land for someone like Zillox, right? The person will have the mind, because Zillox products, for those in Lagos, you know, Zillox products are from 30-something million and above. So that person must have been used to buying expensive land. So when it comes to, are you sure, is that all? Is there any other fee I need to pay? But why some of you, the seller, will think that maybe they are asking because the thing is too expensive. That is your own conclusion. Whereas the customer's point of question was wondering how come it's so cheap here. That's what the customer is thinking of. You are thinking another thing. And some of you might even feel, let me see, I can still talk to the company to reduce price. The people will be wondering, really? Then when I'm even thinking this one is too cheap, and the person even saying that they can reduce price for me. Okay, so the first question, the first aspect, answer to your question, Shison, the first thing is, what are customers looking for? That's the first thing. If customers have started looking for properties that have modern facilities, then you can start looking for such to market. If you feel like you don't want to sell properties that have certain, I still know companies that have properties that have certain amenities. I've not visited the Dubai estate, but I know that Dubai estate, I've seen the videos and I've seen the level of publication. I don't know if that was just paparazzi, but based on the things I see and the level of work going on in that place, I don't want to believe it is just paparazzi, right? So, and I believe you're also in Oka. I think if I'm not mistaken, that property is in Oka or Onitsha. So people are rushing that property. I know realtors even in Lagos have sold that property. So the point is, if your customer need those type of products, look for companies that are developing those type of products. That's one. Number two, this is the opportunity how some of you will become developers as well. Because like I said earlier, Landway was a trainer and a realtor, then became a developer on its own after identifying a problem, a gap in the market. Some of you might say, I don't have money to become a developer. A good business person will not only look for money, a good business person will use other people's money to develop the product. This is where you need partnership. This is where you need to talk to friends, families. The first land we used to start his estate doesn't belong to him. Let's leave that aside. Questions, please. Any other question? Any other question?
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Okay.
Hey, hear me, sir?
I can hear you loud and clear, sir. Glory.
Okay, this is my question. I know that this question, I don't know whether you will have a complete answer to this question, but I would love to ask.
Okay.
Especially the Asaba market.
Okay.
I know of some companies for more than 2 years now. One is 1 year and above. Another one is maybe probably going to 2 years now. Some of the people that have bought property from them, they have not yet been allocated even to this time.
Okay.
So even me, I'm kind of even skeptical of selling their property anymore. So in that aspect now, what can someone do, especially if you have already sold property, sold their property to someone, and the person, your customer, is disturbing you day and night, day and night?
Well,
That's
the first thing first is, why has the company not allocated? You need to ask the company, not me, because the reason will determine why they've not allocated. Okay? Their answer to the why. For example, I know of an estate that currently the second Niger bridge is crossing the estate in this Asaba. Okay? And they had to pause allocation because of that. I'm just using that as an example. Okay, I'm not saying that is the case of every one of them, but that is an example. Okay, that is one. So the properties has litigation. That is for some cases, some of them, their property has litigation issue. The land business in the South and Southeast is more complex than other locations. That is just the reality. Especially when you start buying property from places like Ibuzo, where the father will sell the land, the son will sell the land, the wife will sell the land, the younger sister will sell the land to another person. Right? When you start having such issues, when issues like that are rising, okay, where you can even go to the Ministry of Land and the name of the person in the estate, or that you are going to see. Somebody normally is advised that just go to the Ministry of Land, check who, if the land is, especially when he has a registered survey, you can see who owns the land, right? But in a case where you go there and you are hearing that the person whose name you are seeing there is actually not the owner of the land, right? That becomes a serious issue. So there are a lot of litigations and crook in the real estate business, especially in a place like Asaba. I must be sincere with you, because in my investigations, I have seen a lot. I don't just train. I get involved. I do investigations. I check. I do chatting. I do a lot of things. I sit in meetings with families and communities to negotiate property. Since I've been in this Asaba, and I've seen a lot, I must tell you. I've heard some of my clients bought property also. So I'm seeing a lot. So I can't categorically tell you why they have not sold or why they have not developed, why they have not allocated. Now, in that case, the only thing I can tell you is that if you ask them and they don't give you a concrete answer, you might just have to stop selling their property for the meantime and look for an alternative.
Okay, sir.
And some of the company I consult for, even in this Asaba, is mandatory. You must do, the first thing I ask is, what is your allocation space? I prefer, because of these issues, I prefer point and kill. As I'm buying it, I'm being allocated. Is that how you do? For the companies I consult for, I've been able to help them reshape the system. Whatever thing that is making them not to be able to allocate immediately before, they have to start allocating immediately. They have to look for that thing. I remove that inch from that system so they can do immediate allocation.
All right,
okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, so now we can proceed, I guess. So the next thing is, after you must have chosen your winning aspiration, your goal and your objective. I've given you an example of goal and objective now, okay? Let me even give you for realtors also. For a realtor, you might be one of the most trusted realtor. Maybe that is what you want to be known as. That is your objective, okay? Number two, you might be a realtor that wants to be the most innovative realtor. Maybe that is your objective, okay? You might want to be the realtor that is most knowledgeable, or you have real information about the industry, about the market, about your locality. Like, I don't know if, what is his name, is here. We saw that one of you here joined my team and I to go and shoot videos. And we went all the way to the Second Niger Bridge to shoot video. And was wondering why we're shooting video if the estate would not have an estate, why we're shooting video at the Second Niger Bridge, okay? So I have to explain to him our reason for doing that. Because you have to sell the location before you sell the land. Okay, so and when we talk about the location, you have to sell the city. What is unique about Asaba? Okay, so those are the things we wanted to do. That's why we went to the Second Niger Bridge to shoot video. For those of you who have my phone number, you must have seen some of the pictures on my status. Okay, so the point is, you must have to choose your winning aspiration. An example of winning aspiration for realtors was some of the things I've mentioned: trust, most trusted, digitally inclined, content, knowledge, and so on and so forth. Once you have decided what you want to be known for, what you want to win for, okay? This strategy is not only in real estate. If you look at Nike want to be the company. Nike is selling inspiration. Okay, that's what Nike is selling. And in case, but I don't want to go too in depth on this topic because we are not going to leave here today. So let's just proceed to the next point, which is, where will you play? Now, when I say where will you play, after you must have chosen your winning aspiration, the next you have to decide where you want to play. No organization or individual can be everything to everyone. That is one problem you people have. You want to be everything to everyone. That is why I said earlier, a company that is focused on selling land with CFO should focus on getting customers that need land with CFO, or customers that are open to buying land with CFO, instead of trying to struggle with a customer to convince a customer that doesn't even, number one, doesn't know what is CFO, number two, doesn't know the importance of CFO. So that is stress. You don't pursue such customer, because the customer, number one, will not even know why he should pay that kind of amount. So these are the reasons why you need to only focus on customers that has certain knowledge level. So when you pick a winning aspiration, you must look for people who are looking for that, okay? Like I used to say, sometimes I had opportunity of preaching in a church and I was talking to youths, and I was like, you want to, a common guy wants to marry, or a lady wants to marry a guy that is resourceful. Everybody wants to marry a lady that is resourceful. But what they don't know is the sacrifice of marrying somebody that is resourceful. Okay? So when you pick your winning aspiration, where you decide to compete, you will influence this. Where you decide to compete will influence the strategy that you develop. Okay? So when you choose your winning aspiration, you now choose your playing field. I want to become a footballer. I want to become the best footballer one day. And now I need to pick the position I want to play. Okay? So these are the things. Now going on. So these involve, when you talk about choosing your where you want to play, involve making choices about the specific markets, market segments, or demographics in which the organization will compete. Now, it means like you are not for everybody. For those of you in Lagos, you know Suji Motors. The first property Suji Motors developed, he puts a big signboard there, very big one, signboard there, that tell people that don't complain about our price. If you can't afford it, snap picture and go home. That was the billboard that was on his first project. Now people saw it as insulting, but I saw it as someone who knows what he's looking for. The property is not for everybody. If you're not like and snap picture, the property is fine. Snap picture, snap yourself there and go home. At least you have achieved something. So that is, now the question is, you want to serve everybody. That is some of your problem. You have seen that this customer is not for you, but you are still doing everything to them. The thought of within you, some of you, the people you are following, or you don't get the conviction, say this person, you not go back, but you see they follow up. You see the color. That is a problem. So you choose the market. Do I want to play in which market do I want to play in? Real estate market in the South, real estate market in the Southeast, real estate market in Abuja, real estate market in Lagos. Which market do I want to operate from? Right? Which property do I want to sell? Because I was talking one of the developers from Lagos today, was saying the majority of the people who are selling this property are those in Lagos, but the properties are here. Some of these people have not seen the property before. One of the developer in Lagos, okay, that is Giddy, right? I'd say he was from Giddy here. Is it Giddy? Yeah. The person that sold one of the highest number of plots in the Giddy property in Abia State. I don't think she has been to that property before. I think she saw either 100-something plot or 80-something plot, I can't remember. Okay? Without being to the property. So that is how you too can be here and market properties in Lagos. I have realtors in Lagos who come here just to make video. They take out 2-3 days, come here, make videos, tour different property, make enough video, go back to Lagos, start marketing the property. When it's time for allocation, they come and give their customers allocation. They make more video, they go back. That is how they tour. So once every month or once in every 2 months, they must visit Asaba. I have realtors like that. You too can do the same. Okay? So specific markets, you need to choose a customer segment. And when we talk about customer segment, upper class, middle class, is that the one, or lower class, is that the market you want to decide? Or are they those in the diaspora? Is that what you want to focus on? Or are they those in other cities? Okay, so you need to pick a customer segment. So you can't serve everybody. You have to pick a specific segment. It's about focusing on areas where the company has the potential to win. Some of you want to sell to Nigerians in diaspora. You not even sabi make ordinary WhatsApp call. If I give you your phone and make WhatsApp call, you not sabi. Yet how do you attend to the person? Sometimes I see people say, I heard you know how to generate diaspora lead. Can you please generate diaspora lead for me? And when the first lead comes, the first question you hear is, how do I, and only phone number, he not call me, he fill in phone number and email address. How do I now follow up? Really? So you don't know how to do follow up for that. So you don't know that you need to make WhatsApp call since the international call will be expensive. And some don't even know how to do that. And you want to target Nigerians in the diaspora. How do you do that? So these are the things. And you also need to know that, okay, oh, since I want to focus on Nigerians in diaspora, I need to be spending money on ads because that is the major way I can reach them. I know people who move from here to UK to go and do presentations, realtors who go to UK to do presentations. In case you don't know, Nigerians in London, they have an association. Nigerians in Peckham, they have an association. Most of these Nigerians in different parts of the country, they have different association or different group, different communities they form, and they have days they hold meetings. So some of these people connect with some of the people in those, your friends that left secondary school and jackpot long ago. That is what you're supposed to be doing with them. But no, some of us are waiting until they will come and contact you by themselves, or they will send family and friends. And when family and friends come, because you don't even know how to close people with that come. When family and friend come, you know that your entire commission is not going to be for you. You don't know that you want to swallow all the commission by yourself. And because the person will not ask you, what is in it for me? You go to pretend like say, you don't understand the English. Like say, you not be Nigerian. What do you mean? I don't understand. And then the person, since you don't understand, the person too will say, okay, me too, I don't understand. This is your land. We'll carry the deal and take it to somewhere else. So you must know what it will take for you to operate in the industry you are in. And you need to know that, okay, because if the person is in the diaspora, you don't know that those in the diaspora prefer properties, they can see the area view of the area, not just properties that they can see only, property you can see, not the one you can just go to the estate and be doing bush and be telling them beautiful estate. You need to know that. Okay, so you need to choose your winning aspiration. Where do you want to win? Where do you want to play? I mean, where do you want to play? You mustn't serve everybody. You need to pick where you want to focus on. P1 has chosen, for those of you that P1 has chosen to be a real estate network and a real estate network marketing company. People like Landway have chosen to be real estate developers. You, where are you as a realtor? You be follow. You see Confident do video, you want to do video. Confident has started a podcast. Very soon, all of you start podcast, especially for those of you in Lagos. So where do you want to win? People are writing ebook. You too want to write. Where do you want to win? That a bookie lead where they generate. Now I won't read the ebook. I've been a who won't read the ebook. So you need to know what is your winning aspiration. What field do you want to play in? So this is very straight to the point. There's not much to explain here. This is about you choosing your playing field. Now, these are some of the questions you should consider. Questions such as, what state, country, or region do you want to compete in? What product or service do you want to offer? What market or category do you want to address? Which market segment do you want to sell to? How will you get your product or services to your customers? What distribution channel will you use? All these are questions you have to ask yourself. How do you want to operate? Are we together? I'll leave this on the screen for a little while as you ask your question, and I'll take only 2 questions. These people that are coming in and going, is it network that is a problem or what? Questions, don't always wait until when I am about moving on before you start asking questions. If you have your questions, ask your questions, please.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Chisom.
Hello, sir. Please, this question is a bit off. I just want to confirm,
okay.
Because we are learning and unlearning and relearning. So, sir, actually learned from someone that I really look up to, and the person said that it's people patronize you more when you identify with a company. So, he said if you are more like building brands on this, people don't tend to partner. But if you identify with the company, they tend to, trust you more and want to do business with you. Please, how correct is that statement?
When you identify with a company, like a
Yes.
developer as a real estate company, you identify with a real estate company.
Yes. Instead of you just, coming and say, I sell property or I do this, so I'm a consultant, he said when you attach a company, a brand to it, they tend to trust you more and they want to do business with you.
First, let me ask you a question. The person that told you this, is he from a company, as in the person is a developer or a real estate company?
He said, I don't know if I should call it, both of them mixed together. He's a developer, yeah.
So now you know the answer to my question, or the answer to your question. Or do you still need me to respond to that question?
Wow. Okay.
When you attend, sorry, I'm not against people attending training organized by real estate companies, right? I'm not against that. But I'm sorry to say also that most of them don't tell you the complete truth. So I will tell you things that will favor me for you to sell my product. The best trainings you will get them from people who have nothing to lose. That's always I tell my realtors, attend trainings, not those free trainings organized by real estate companies. Like the other day, I think you were the one that asked a question about the whole network marketing thing. That is the best. You heard that is the best. Yeah, because they know that when you recruit, when they train you on recruitment for companies that are trying to that focus on the network marketing business, when they train you on recruitment, yes, they will only tell you how it favors you. They don't tell you how it favors them. Okay, and the truth is the major reason why they tell you that is because of how it's going to favor them, not only because of how it's going to favor you. That's why they tell you that. Okay?
Okay, sir. All right, sir. So please, I have one more question. Please, when choosing where you should play, because there was a time I was like, I want to focus on first-time investors. So, educating them on how to make the right investments. But I noticed that the market is just too large. And, I was just talking to first-time investors and all these things. So, like, I want to really understand if you are going to target an audience such as that, or if you're going to target an audience, in a general, because now if you're saying first-time investor, that means location is not attached to it. So you are targeting the entire space.
They are not the same thing. First-time investor and location is not the same thing. So you also have to make the decision of location. You have the first-time investor, that is their status. Their location is their demographics. Or their location. So now first-time investor is their status. Okay? So after you have made, I want to deal with first-time investor. First-time investor in which location would that come in?
Oh. Okay, so location must
yes, location must be attached.
Oh, all right.
Because what it will take you to address first-time investor of those in Nigeria is not what you need or what it will take you to address first-time investors in the diaspora. If you want to even meet a lot of first-time investors, you might, because you mentioned the word first-time investor, two platforms you must use is YouTube and Google. Why? Because those are the two platforms most first-time investors go to make inquiry, as in make findings, research. And in course of making those research, they should be able to find you. All right. Any other question from any other person? All right. The absence of question.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Why do you guys wait until when I want to move on before you ask your questions? Ask your question, the Vicky. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Okay, ask your question.
Yeah, take for instance that I'm choosing to play in a diaspora space. what are like
Okay.
the three stuff that is like a put off for investors from diaspora?
Put off.
Like something that just trip them off, or something that a realtor can just randomly do and then just cut short that transaction or that buying process.
When you are inconsistent with your statement, that's number one. I can tell you for free. Because one of the major ingredients you need in the diaspora space is trust. Because most of them suspect everybody. They feel everybody is after their money, which is almost somehow true because of experiences other people have gotten. So they come with the mindset of this, they come suspecting you. Let me put it that way. They come suspecting you.
Okay.
So trust
Hello,
is a major
sir.
factor. Yeah. Who is speaking?
Hello, sir. Yeah, this is Vicky, please.
Okay.
Okay. My question is, when you've been able to get a client and you've done unnecessary due diligence to get a client to invest, the client liked the place and he wants to invest. He has promised to invest. He has made inquiries and not investing. What could be the reason for the delay?
Okay, number one, that is not a question for this class. Like I said, this is a free class. There's something I'm not going to teach in this class. These are just pre-training for the conference. So you're supposed to attend the conference to get questions like this answered.
But the question can be asked at the conference.
Sorry? Yes, questions will be asked at the conference now, of course. There will be sales section. There will be different sections in this thing.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I move on to the next. How will we win? Is the next thing. You must decide your winning aspiration. You must decide where to play. Then you must decide how you tend to win. Okay, how will you win? Okay, so when we say how will you win, one of the ways I intend to win, right, is by, okay, I don't know who I was talking to, or I think whether it's one of these trainings, or saying that though I have a digital marketing organization, I have a software organization, okay, I have a real estate academy and so on and so forth. Now, but the thing is that some of our businesses, still, we hardly run ad the way we should. Why? Because our winning aspiration is not on ad. Or sorry, how we tend to win is not on ad. How we tend to get customer is not on ads. I don't know whether, KK, you are the one that was with me some days ago, right? Where
That's right.
I gave you, when in our conversation, I was giving you some strategies, right?
Exactly, yes, sir.
So those are not, so now, like they said, you might need to develop some unique capability. Now, for example, let me just give you one of the example I discussed with KK. Now, in course of our conversation, I told him of a realtor who was once a banker, not just a banker, an investment banker, who came to meet me that, Chris, my upline say you are the one that handles all our digital stuff and she's getting sales through you. I say, yes, ma'am. I want you to do the same thing for me. I said, okay, ma'am, but can you please tell me where you are coming from? And she was confused initially. I said, okay, what do you mean by where I'm coming from? Coming from my house? Say, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, what industry or what business were you doing before you came into real estate? And she said, I was a banker. I said, okay, you are a banker. Were you sacked? She said, no. So How come you are now in real estate? Say, I resigned some years back and I've been doing other businesses. Now I'm in real estate. It's okay. You are sure you resigned? Say yes. You didn't, maybe they were trying to know there are different types of resignation. There are those that you know that they are going to sack you very soon, so you already resign, so they won't sack you. Which of them? She said, no, she actually resigned by herself without issue. If you go back to that place, will they employ you back? She said, I have a good portfolio there. What were you really doing? They say, I'm an investment bank. As an investment banker, you're still in investment. Even in real estate, you are still in investment. So what are you looking for digital marketing help for? Say, my friend told me that is how she's making her sales. I said, madam, sorry, you don't need my help for now. When it comes to digital marketing, you don't need that for now. I can't help you because that's not what you need now. She says, what do I mean? Okay. Because you have access to sales, you don't just know how to use it. As an investment banker, on average, how many customers did you deal with? So I deal with a couple of them, or over 100, if I'm not mistaken. That's fine. Do you still have connection with this customer? I say yes. Now you are going to first strategy number one, and this is the beginning of your consultation. Okay. You are going to do two things for me. Number one, as an investment banker, you say you attain a manager's level. Okay, so for that reason, you had people working under you. You need to organize a get-together, inviting as many of your previous colleagues that were working with you, either as the same level or at lower level. Organize a party, print invitation, a get-together that you're inviting, you are celebrating something, you're inviting them to your house. Or you can use a hotel, and we ended up using a hotel. On that day of this event, the lady invited somebody to speak in that event. She spoke. The person spoke. It was the lady actually that spoke after the whole speaking event. And the speaking was on how people in the banking sector should invest so that when they resign, after where the topic was coined, after the banking services, you will not just have only counted money, you would also have gotten money for yourself and all of that. The speaker did a good job. And we printed forms already waiting for them. So when the speaker spoke to a certain extent, I gave them signal to start sharing the form for everybody. Everybody in the meeting. And I tell you, in that day's meeting alone, to like about a week or two, she sold property nothing less than 100 plots. From the day of the meeting to about a week or two, she sold property more than an average of 100 plots. Now, this is what we call strategy. Okay, so why? Because she leveraged on her existing assets. I made that to leverage on our existing assets. The question is, what assets or what resources do you have access to that you are not leveraging on? The first unique thing about strategy is by looking inward for your capability. And if you don't have one, you then start building. Or even when you have one, while you are still working on leveraging, or while you are still investing from your existing assets and capability, you are building new ones. It was 2 years after we run our first ad, 2 years after series of consultation. So most of the strategy we used with her for 2 years were offline method. So ad on its own is not a strategy. The strategy is because you're only using ad because you have set a certain strategy, and ad is one of the way you tend to reach those people. So it is not just. So what is your unique ability? What is your unique ability? Let me tell you the reason why, for those of you in Lagos who know Landway, let me tell you one of the reasons why Landway chose to become the tech, because one, he's someone that understands tech very well, okay? He was even building website for Realtors then when he was still a trainer. He was building website for Realtors. He will train, and people will sign up for him to build website for them. I mean, the CEO of former CEO, which is the founder of Landway, which is Wale, the Lagos Realtor, you know him very well. These are the things he was doing. So he focused on his existing capability. Some of you don't look inward enough. You just run around. You act like the woman in the Bible, the woman with what do you call this woman that was asked, I think it was Elisha, the woman and the Elisha, that was asked, what do you have? And she said, I have nothing but a cruse of oil. Now, most of you are sitting on data that you can leverage on, but you are not leveraging on them. Most of you are sitting on connection. Some of you used to use the word, your connection, it's not connection. Your network is your net worth, right? That's what most of you used to say in the real estate space. But how many of you are leveraging on your network? Okay, so instead of calling them on phone to say, I am not in real estate, so will you not come and buy? Is you can see the approach that was used to gather them. And this woman didn't do it like she was begging them. It was like she's helping them. You can see I am comfortable. I live in my own house, and that is because I invested. Okay? While we were all working, I was investing. There are some of you here who will work together. You can't live in a comfortable place like I live now. And that is because I invested. Instead of leveraging on loan to buy car, instead of leveraging on loan to buy land, here you have opportunity. That is what we refer to as strategy. Instead of on Valentine's Day shouting, don't buy me flower, buy me land. That's what some of you realtors do. Instead of making all those announcements, what can you do on Valentine's Day that will gather people? Who can you collaborate with? Which event, which hotel, which showbiz person is having an event that will get realtors, that will get people, couples together during those Valentine period, and collaborate with them to see how you can speak in those events, or how you can get the contact of those people that will speak in those events. Why not sponsor people to places like that? Collaborate with people. You all know. You just want to be running around. Don't buy land and wait. Don't wait to buy land. Buy land and wait. That is all you do. But the point is that these are the strategy. So what is your strategy? What is your approach? Some of you want to wait until someone else is doing it first. That's another problem most of you have. Even when you see something staring at you, because no one else is doing it, you don't want to be the first to do it. And because you don't want to be the first to do it, that's why you are always not the number one realtor. You want to be number one realtor, you need to try things that others have not tried. So when your target customer, you need to create a product or services that meet your client need uniquely well, and that provides value in uniquely significant way. Okay. You can see, for those of you who deal with, what is his name, Horsham, you see this year he has only launched one product. He has stopped, what do you call, what is that thing you guys used to sell that caused problem for you guys? Layout. He has stopped layout. Now, his first project or his current project this year is the one in Obolokiti. You can see the level of work he's putting in there. That is the difference when somebody has not gotten a strategy. Strategy will stop you from doing some things you were doing before. Strategy will help you to do new things that you have never tried before. He has seen that instead of competing with people like P1, instead of competing with people like some other companies, the likes of, what do you call, Chrysler and the likes, as many names you can think of, the likes of Sahara and all of that. He has seen that, okay, why should I go to this place where everybody is a land seller? Why not I focus on the market that is still very empty? Like I said earlier, I can even ask you, those of you realtors, how many of you can mention using Asaba as a case study, how many of you can mention true developers in Asaba? 10 developers in the entire Asaba. If that is, you can even get up to 5. Better Court is the most common place. Then you talk about those developing, like I said, developing the governor's villa and maybe a few others, right? Now you see that market is still very open. There's no really a leading person in that market. Better Court just have the second estate now, okay? So just one product is what most of these people have. So why not I come into that market that is still very fresh, that nobody is dominating, instead of looking to enter into a market that someone is already dominating, and that is where you want to struggle. Okay? So there are things that makes the difference. You can't be doing the same thing and expecting a different result. You can't be selling the same product and be expecting a different result. So these are the things. A change orientation. When you, that is why early this year I did a strategy with a company like Caution. Because when you do a before, when you're adopting a new strategy, you don't need to only the CEO cannot adopt the strategy. Even the staff has to adopt that strategy. They have to be trained on this new way we want to do things. This is the new way we want to do things. And this is why we want to do things. So the CEO or whoever is bringing in to come and evaluate that strategy must have to imbibe the strategy into even the staff members. Until the staff members buy the strategy, they won't be able to deliver the strategy, because it's not the CEO that delivers the strategy, it's the staff members, the team members that deliver the strategy. So you can't be selling the same a service plot apartment the way you sell layouts. They won't buy like they used to buy. Where you used to buy 20, you used to get one person that will buy 10 plots, 50 plots, or 20 plots, and you are happy. I'm the highest salesperson, and 250 naira land, 250,000 naira land, they sell. Okay, so these are the things you need to think about. Strategy. Market, going into a new market is a strategy. Like some of the companies I consult for in Lagos, some of them I brought them into Asaba this year. Why? Because that was the winning strategy. They are finding it difficult to compete in the Lagos market because the resources needed to compete in the Lagos market is different from is more than the resources needed to compete in a market like Asaba, in a market like Oka. So for them to be successful, we needed to, okay, let's shift our since we can't, the only option, like I told them, the only option we have now, as a CEO, you got to bring more money so we can compete favorably. But if you know you can't have that money, which market can these resources we have serve us and make us compete favorably and possibly become the market leader? And for us to do that, what they had to look for way to move into Asaba market, move into Abia State market, move into Oka, and so on and so forth. That same thing applies. I've told some realtors, even in Lagos, some of my enclave members, you are struggling to sell land in Lagos. Please look out for those in other states and focus and sell those ones, since you are struggling to sell a Lagos property. So this is what we mean by choosing where to play and how to win. Questions? We're almost at the last points. Questions? Questions? So,
hello.
Yep.
This week again, Mr. Chris. Okay, we're talking about winning. Winning. At what point as the realtor would you say, yes, I am winning? At what point as a realtor would you say I am winning?
When you are preferred in the market you have chosen to play, then you can say you are winning.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you look at the definition of strategy, we say it makes you the number one in that field you have chosen to play. So when you are not the preferred options in football, if you watch football, or the guys here that watch football, who is, when it comes to defender, who is the person everybody prefers to have? Every coach wants to have that defender. Every coach wants to have that striker. That is a preferred. You can say, yes, I am winning in this my field. Same thing applies to you as a realtor. By the time you choose a particular market, like in Lagos now, I know realtor customers who pride themselves. Okay, I've seen customers who pride themselves that, do you know that I patronize this type of realtor? It's like, I'm not wondering, okay, why are you proud that you patronize a realtor? It's like, you should be happy that I'm coming to patronize you. Do you know the type of realtors I deal with? So that realtor that they are priding over can say, yes, I am a winning realtor. Some realtors, some of you, let me tell you some of the reasons why you are not selling. Because you are not a winning realtor, even when you run ad, the ad doesn't cover. And let me tell you what I mean by that. You run ad now, right? People see the customers see the ad. They screenshot your ad, download the video, and take it to the realtor, the winning realtor, and say, I saw so property. Do you sell this property? Or do you have this kind of property in your portfolio? That is a winning realtor. Some realtors, when some customers, even when the realtor say, I don't have that property, I don't cover that area, they will not want to buy any other property until they will not want to buy that property until that realtor tell them, okay, go ahead and buy from that realtor. They will say, can you help me call this realtor to confirm, to make some more findings about that property that I told you about? I like the property, but just that I don't know, I don't really trust them. This one, you say you are not selling that property, right? So the realtor will not be the one, and sometimes will end up coming to share commission with you, because for them to do all the work of finding and giving their customer go ahead to patronize you, you have to sort them. That is the person that can say, yes, I'm a winning realtor. Thank you. More questions, please. Is the truth too bitter, or why is the class so quiet?
Well, with you, sir, the truth is bitter, but it's working.
All right, so let's proceed. Questions. For those of you who have been in my sections for different occasions, you know, when you ask questions, I explain more. When you ask less questions, I also do less.
Okay, I'm coming again, sir. As a realtor, you identify with a company and you are freelancing as well. What are the strategies to use at this point?
You identify with a company and you are freelancing as well. Those things ought not to go hand in hand. That's the first thing I'm going to tell you for free. Those things ought not to go hand in hand, because you will get to the point whereby you would have to choose between whether identify with the company or working as a freelancer.
Okay.
Because the rules of freelancing, okay, let's say for instance now, if the customer, as someone who identify with the company, okay, let me even ask, when you say identify with the company, is it as a staff or as a realtor?
As a realtor.
Okay, as a realtor, the name, I don't know why in South it seems like the developers or the land sellers are using you people's head. Because as a realtor is called an independent realtor. Provided you don't earn salary, you are not meant to push anybody. You are meant to push your own brand. You are answerable to no developer.
Okay.
You are answerable to no developer. Because this is another thing is, let me say this, longer truth is another reason why realtors are suffering. Let me put it this way. Longer truth is another reason. What do I mean by longer truth? You want to enjoy the benefit. You want to enjoy the benefit of being a realtor that is committed to a particular brand, and you also want to enjoy the freedom of a freelance realtor. Now, because you know there are some things, okay, for example, now one of the companies, one of my realtors consult for, brought out some series of promo, right? Sell so amount and get a car, sell so amount and get a car. That's what. Now, if she puts in the effort, she's certain she's going to get that car. Is 100% certain that that car will come. The car is enticing, but there are some things she has found out about that company that would not want to make her sell that property or that company's property. But if she is a realtor that is committed to that brand, she might just want to overlook those things and just push that company products just so she can get that car. So these are the things. So if you are a freelancer, you are not answerable to anybody. Your customer is what you are answerable, is the person you are answerable to. Your customer comes first. Because if you are attached to the company, when the company is doing something wrong, you won't have the power and enough zeal to push for your customers' rights. You become compromised. Because I don't want to offend this MDO, because you used to ask him for some favors and he used to grant you. I don't want to offend this MD. Like I remember a realtor was telling a smaller realtor that, please, do you know what? Go and shout in this office. She's a realtor. This person, but you are the big realtor. He said, I can't shout. I know I'm the ambassador. I can't shout because I'm the ambassador. So go and shout. When you shout now, they will answer you. Shout, make noise. That's what she's telling someone behind, but she can't do it. Why? Because they have hooked her with the title of ambassador, and she's enjoying the benefit of an ambassador. So you are seeing your customers' money being lost, but because you're an ambassador, you can't speak up. Why? Because you still want to enjoy the benefit of being an ambassador, whereas your customers' money is at stake. Your customer is your first priority as a realtor, not the developer. Thank you.
Hello, sir. So one more question.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, sir.
Okay, good evening. Let the guy ask
Hello,
before.
sir.
Let the guy ask before
Okay.
choosing.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you for this great opportunity. Today is my first time joining the Zoom. So my question is this. Yeah, my question is this. As a beginner, as a realtor, and you are a beginner, what are the first steps you should take in order for you to start winning?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, first thing first. The first thing is you need knowledge. And there are different types of knowledge that are needed in the real estate space. You need real estate knowledge. You need investment knowledge. You need marketing and sales. You need advertisement, 5 categories of knowledge. Now, if you want to go into development, then you now also need development knowledge. Now, but the only common knowledge that is in the real estate space is marketing and sales. Why? Because the companies only provide you with marketing and sales knowledge, so you can sell their property and they make more sales and you collect your commission. That's what the only thing they focus on. Because the truth is, there are some knowledge you will have about the real estate space. Some of the companies you sell for, you won't sell for them. That is just the reality. You won't sell for them, because you will see a lot of things. Indeed, like in Lagos, I used to say that there's a particular company, they are the market entry point of realtors in Lagos. Some of Lagos realtors know the company I'm talking about. I wouldn't want to mention their name. They are the market entry point when it comes to realtors. What I mean by market entry point, majority of people who become realtors in Lagos through this company. Now, but when they now gain certain level of knowledge and expertise, they move from that company to another company. They start looking for another company to market. They start having issues with this company. Okay, so, but the only way they get to that point is when they start seeking external knowledge, provided those ones that only seek knowledge within this company that I'm talking about doesn't seem to know their left from their right, so they are ready to die because of this company. But immediately they start attending conferences in other places, start attending paid trainings, start educating themselves on the industry, start knowing their left from their right. They start seeing things that this company is doing that they are not comfortable with. And when they try to address it with the developers or the directors of this company, and when they see that this thing is not being addressed, they start having issues and they start leaving. Okay, so these 4 categories of knowledge is what you need. You need industry knowledge, which is real estate. What is real estate really about? You need industry knowledge. Then you need investment knowledge, because you don't discuss real estate with customers. You discuss investment with customers. That's one thing that is why some people are not buying from you. They are busy discussing. You want to educate your customer about all the land titles. That will not concern customer. You want to educate customer on how to process CFO. That will not concern some customers. Some customers don't care. But big time customers discuss investment, not real estate. They discuss investment. Nobody will give you 500 million or 200 million single sales. I'm talking about in the area of land now. Somebody buy multiple plots of land, 20 plots, 50 plots from you. And he's going to come from the angle of, unless maybe somebody referred him to you and all of that, and start discussing. Truly, the person is there are people who refer to as investors. If the person is truly an investor, he discussed investment with you. Can you calculate? The other day, I don't know what is in your class, I was asking, can you calculate if I give you 500 million now? I say, Mr. Chris, right? I think I saw your name as Mr. Christopher. Or any other person here, let's say Chisom, if I tell you that, Chisom, this last quarter of the year, I have 500 million I want to invest. Please, how do I invest it? What will you say? And how will you calculate my return on investment for me? Or I tell you that I am currently worth 500 million, right? I'm currently worth 500 million. And in the next 5 years, I want to worth 20 billion. Give me a pathway of investment that will take me to becoming up to 20 billion, worth 20 billion in 10 years' time or 5 years' time. What would you say? So that is why when you see the people making mega sales, people make 500 million naira sales in one customer, 200 million in one customer, 500 million in one customer, even 1 billion from one single customer. Like I was telling KK yesterday or day before yesterday that we were together, that I have a realtor. That realtor, for the past 4 years, I've consulted for that realtor. She has one customer. Every year, if that woman does not buy property, she buy at least 200 million naira worth of property from this lady. So in that 4 years, that is 200 million times 4. That is the number we're even talking about. That is like the least transaction she does every year from one single customer. So if that person come to discuss investment with you, do you think they will just say here and don't buy land and wait? Don't wait to buy land and wait. Or there's this another one you guys speak. The richest people did not become rich through real estate. All the richest people became rich, all billionaire became billionaire. There's a one nonsense grammar you guys like to speak. The richest people in the world became rich through real estate. That nonsense grammar you guys speak, right? So do you think that's what you would say? And the person want to buy property from you. So this is the reason why you need this knowledge. Okay? That is what, so these are the things you need. One more question, then we proceed to the last module for today's class.
Okay,
okay, while we're, sorry, Shisom, just give me a minute. Let me just make this clear. Some of you, I don't know how many of you joined this class through message that you received. We are not in the WhatsApp group before. You joined a message from my team. So you got a message from my team members. That is how you join the WhatsApp group, or that is how you joined this class today. You got a message inviting you to the WhatsApp group or something like that. If you are among those, please indicate in the comment section. I want to know how many people joined the class through the message, because my team have been sending out messages to people. So I want to know how many persons who joined that. Okay, Christopher Bassi say aye, all right. Okay, who else? Who else? Who else? Okay. Okay, I was invited by one of my team members. Peace, the same thing. Mira Olushuku, the same thing. Okay. All right. So in that particular group you're invited to, we'll also be having special class that has nothing to do with the, that has nothing to do with the conference, the upcoming conference. And for those of you who are new here, I don't know if you've been told that there's an upcoming conference on the 30th and 31st of this month. There is a paid conference, 55,000 Naira. That was what, though the 55,000 has even expired, but I'm still waiting for a go ahead. Okay, we also have Richard Ude that joined through that. Okay, we'll be having series of training in that group. That is a special, that has nothing to do with me alone. But as you can see the name of the group, there will be more information that being given there. There are a lot of people there already. So there are lots of benefits of belonging to that group. Okay, so take note of that. But for this upcoming conference on the 30th and 31st of this month, if you have the money, please register and join, because it's going to be, forget the little you are learning here currently. You will get things, at least so concluded with the Ministry of Lands and all of that. They'll be coming to speak on areas, especially for those of you in Asaba, for areas to where you should buy land, where you shouldn't buy land in Asaba, where you shouldn't sell land in Asaba, things like that. There will be a lot of information that will be given in that training. There will be marketing knowledge, there will be sales knowledge, there will be a lot of things that will be dished out in that conference. Please don't, I'm not in any of the group. Okay, so how did you get this thing? Tell the person that gave you this link. The person must belong to a group. Tell the person that gave you this link for this meeting. The person must definitely be in a group, because the link were only posted. Okay, a friend gave you. How to register for the upcoming conference? Okay, let me put in, which number should I put? Okay. 6655778. Okay. So for those that are not in the group and they are not in the conference group, right? They are not in the conference group and they like to attend the conference. Like I already said, the conference is 55,000 Naira. Yeah, the conference is 55,000 Naira, even though we already agreed that the price is changing today. But for now that we've not announced that the price has changed, if you still want to belong to. So for those of you, you can shout up this number. Okay. Sorry, I think I sent it to only one person, so 6 Okay, so I've dropped the number. Shout up that number for more details, especially for the new people, either that you want to join the Realtors group or you want to join the conference group. Either one, make sure you shout up this number for the new people. Thank you. Now let's proceed. Okay, Shisom, you wanted to ask a question. You can go on with your question now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir, please, I want to, please, can you give us practical steps on how we can identify needs, genuine and pressing needs in the market, aside from the diaspora market we know about and the ones where people buy? What are the practical ways to identify needs in the market? Thank you.
That is going to be, please ask this question in that conference, please. That is no question I want to address today. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Richard Ude is asking, please, do you do private meetings and knowledge sharing? When you say private, well, I do consultation for companies. I hardly do one-on-one sections, but I do mentorship classes or mentorship groups. So if you're talking about mentorship group, I have a lot of mentorship groups. Some people pay 2 million Naira, some pay 1 million Naira to be members of my enclave. We call it the sales enclave. And there's a sales target for you to achieve within your 1 year period. You are being a member of my mentorship class. You are either paying You're either targeting to achieve 500 million naira in sales, or you are targeting to achieve 1 billion naira in sales. That's for individual realtors. Then for companies, we have sections that where would the target for them to achieve 5 billion and above in sales. So there are different consultation sections I do. So if you want anything like that, you can still shout that number up, that number I sent to the group. Please don't call. WhatsApp chat is easily responded to unless you are asked to call maybe during the chat or they call you during the chat. Okay. So this to Richard. So we say, okay, consultation is okay. All right. So that is it. So now I guess we can proceed to the last module for today's class. What capability must we have? What capability do you have? So the market you are trying to serve, what skill set is needed to serve that market? What knowledge is needed to serve that market? Let's, okay, for example, now this, yesterday, a customer called a realtor and say, from the diaspora, say, okay, I saw your video on YouTube and blah, 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 blah. And the realtor say, can I walk you through, do virtual tour with you? And I noticed the customer, because I was a realtor, I noticed the realtor, the customer was happy. And that why? Because there are others don't do the virtual tour, that they just send, they don't get full details of the place. So now what that simply means, and one of the capability for a realtor to have is the ability to do virtual tour. Virtual tour, and I also hear that some of you realtors say sending video is what virtual tour. Virtual tour is not sending video. Live video is what called virtual tour. And at least thank God for WhatsApp for now. You can use WhatsApp video call live. So as you are driving to the place, you call the customer until you get to the place. So the customer can see everywhere. Not the one you have make the video, deleted the part you don't want the customer to see and send to the customer. I say it's a virtual tour. That's not a virtual tour, okay? When we say virtual, virtual is live, not pre-recorded. So take note of that. Now, after they are in course of their conversation, the realtor also say, okay, after everything, now that you have seen most of the thing, I will also send you a drone coverage of the area. That got the customer much more excited again. Okay, so what am I saying? These are already putting the customer, because they're according to the customer, because they're according to the customer that the realtor, the parents has sent them different properties already. I've been looking for property. Other realtors have been sending them properties and all of that. But this virtual tour and drone coverage alone already place this customer ahead of others. Okay, so that's the thing. So that's what we mean by capability. So if the capability could be that, okay, you need a drone, or even if you can't afford one now, you need a drone pilot, right, to go and take area view of the place. This is one of the common things diaspora clients love. They like property where videos where they can see the area views. You say it's close to the airport, Abi, oh, you have flight drone, make we see. How close is it to the airport? Right, so these are things we mean by capability. Content creation could be a capability. Money to run ad could be a capability. Knowledge of the industry could be a capability. Money to develop could be a capability. Okay, ability to chart property could be a capability. Processing the land document could be a capability. So what is the capability you have? That's the point. What capability do you have? Or what capability is needed to serve the market you have chosen to serve? Now, let me give you a perfect example. Let me use myself now. People ask me, Chris, which one are you? Are you a digital marketer? I always say, I'm not a digital marketer, which is true. I'm not a digital marketer. Okay? In case some of you have been considering addressing me as a digital marketer, I'm not a digital marketer. Okay? I hate being called a digital marketer. I'm not a digital marketer. That's the first thing you need to take note of. So now, For me to serve the real estate, I have digital marketing knowledge, no doubt. But for me to serve the digital marketing space, for me to serve the real estate market, I need beyond digital marketing. Okay? For me to have a lot of clientele in the real estate space, I need beyond digital marketing. Very, 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 very few digital marketers can do what I do in the real estate space. Okay, that is what makes me unique. I can discover when like I was talking to the developer that came from Lagos I mentioned earlier. I was talking to him this evening. The first thing I told him, I said, I've charted properties in your area, where you have properties, and I noticed the area is under government acquisition. Yes, he knew me before, but he was looking at me somehow. This guy, how does he know this? Okay, so now the thing that I can discuss real estate with my customers in the real estate space, I don't only serve the real estate, my digital marketing organization serves every other industry. So the thing is, I can discuss real estate. The question is, can you discuss investment with your customers? That's the reason why I told Chris earlier to try as much as I can to acquire these 4 categories of knowledge. You mustn't acquire all of them at the same time in bits. You just keep growing gradually. Because when client now want to discuss investment with you, you don't know what to say, you don't know how to say. The only quote you know is, don't buy land and wait. Don't wait to buy land and wait. The richest people become rich through real estate. I wish we don't know who told you that one. And if you are dealing with someone that was actually rich and will be looking at you, okay, or that knows people that are rich, and you'll be looking at this one, doesn't even know what he's doing. You're already losing the sales. So these are some of the things you need to understand. What is your capability? And what is the capability that is needed to serve the market you have chosen to serve? Chisom talk about serving the first-time property buyers, right? Now, what knowledge do you need to serve the market of the first-time property buyers? And you must also know, Chisom, that they are the first time you have a lot of work to do in education, educating these people why they should prefer real estate. They are the first-time property buyers doesn't mean this is the first time they're investing their money in something. It could be that they've been investing in other things. Currently, most companies, banks are currently selling shares and so on. So there are people who still buy shares. Truth be told, there are shares that still works. That's just the reality. Don't because of real estate, don't go and say nonsense. There are still shares that work. Yeah, shares is volatile, I know that. But truth be told, there are shares that work. Is it Transcorp or whatever you call them? Their shares has been very profitable for many years now. So don't get deceived and just say that, tell people that share, and maybe you were talking to someone who have been buying shares and shares have been paying him, and you're only focusing on those who failed. The person who failed, say, my father bought shares, and after 10 years, he bought shares of 10 million naira. Now, currently, it is only 2 million naira that the shares worth. That is because they don't understand how shares works. That's why their shares diminished. Shares still pays. You don't buy, just like you say, you buy real estate and wait. The thing is that you don't buy shares and wait. That's the difference. People who lose money a lot in shares, I'm not saying shares is 100% safe, right? Shares is volatile, I know that. But the point I'm trying to make is that people still make money from shares. You advise people in the real estate space, buy property and wait. Shares, you don't buy and wait. You buy and remain alert. That's the difference. So you can still make money from shares. So now if you are meeting someone who have been making money from shares, now you want to get the person to start buying property and investing in property, you now make that mumu statement of don't buy land, shares is nothing. Shares doesn't pay. Person will be looking at you, okay, yeah, go one side. You don't know what they talk. Right? So these are the things you need to understand. This is how some of you lose market. This is how some of you can't sell some of you can only sell property to people who just want to buy land and build a house. That is why you are only able to sell one plot. I just want to buy land and build a house. Some of you can't even educate your customer about rental property. How do you calculate rental profit or rental revenue? You don't know. Okay, so these are some of the things. So these are where you need capability. What is your capability? Can you hold, okay, let's even leave investment. Can you hold a conversation with somebody that worth 1 billion naira? How many of you here can honestly tell me that you can hold a conversation, meaningful one, no, with someone that worth 10 billion naira? Okay, let's even say 1 billion naira. You can hold a conversation with that person comfortably. Okay, KK say, I can. There are some realtors that cannot, and you want to collect the person's money. If I can't hold a meaningful conversation with you, I won't give you my money. Because I need to buy you before I buy what you are selling. I'm not saying I'll collect you and give you money. I need to be able to connect with you. It's easy to sell to land buyers. I have with 500 million clients, okay? It's easy to sell to land buyers, people that just want to buy land and build house. That is not real estate. So that is just, that person is not a real estate investor. If truly you are looking for a real estate investor, the person that just buy land and the purpose of buying is that he wants to build a house, my brother, that person is not a real estate investor. Take note of that. Okay, so now going back to the screen, you say identify and build the key capability that are necessary to execute the strategy. There are the skill sets, skills, assets, and processes that gives the company or individual an advantage in its chosen area. Now, for those of you, I don't know, we still have Lagos Realtors in the meeting. For those of you who are from the Lagos market space, if you know Landway very well, before now, the number of staff Landway had in their media department is more than the staff some companies have in their entire companies. Okay, why are they investing so much in that? Because that is one of their area of strength. That is the point. That's one of the area of strength. Technology, their media department, their video quality are top notch. That is one of their area. Why is P1 spending so much money on Realtor, taking Realtors to Dubai, taking Realtors to different countries? That is because that is one of their area of strength. Then for you, some of you developer here, you don't want to spend money on property. You don't want to spend money on Realtors. You don't want to spend money on marketing. Oga, where your money they go? You don't want to spend money on technology. Where do you put your money then, since you are not anywhere? Where is your money going to, since you don't want to spend the money on anyone? So, because some of you, so those of you are developer here, when you see a company like P1 saying, sells a number of plots and qualify to go to Dubai, you too, you go tell your graphic there, oh yeah, design graphics, we too, we are taking Realtors to Dubai. When it's time to fulfill the promise, you go to draw your hands back. Right? So, they do that because that is their area of strength. Their strategy, they invest on their strategy. That business model, Why some companies, they spend so much money on their land? If you go to opposite Admiralty University, for using a company like MIC, which is the owners of Better Court, opposite Admiralty University, for those of you in Asaba here, you see that Better Court or the MIC now have a property there. Okay, you see the level of work they did there before, and their property there is 15 million naira. Most property there are still selling for 5 million, 7 million. But he is selling 15 million because he has put in the, when you get there, you know, okay, this person is ready to, it's not, we will, you are seeing the work ongoing. Like Hush is doing with his property in Obulokite, okay? You will see the work, compare it to what he has done in other companies before now. Okay, compare it to what he has done in his other property before now. Compare what he's doing there. For those of you who know Hushum and his other property, compare what he's doing in Obulokite, you know that there's a difference. And see, when you spend money, when you know what you are doing, you will be bold enough to charge the kind of money you also want to charge. Some of you can't charge because, as those of you that are customers, that are developers, you can't charge much because you, to your conscience, the judge, you say, this one, why I not do anything here? I'm going to charge this amount. That's the thing. Whereas for some, in case you don't know, Realtors, there are some Realtors, a company, this company that own MN Estate. When they started newly, their first estate called MN Estate, phase 1, they were charging for inspection. They were charging over 100,000 naira for inspection. You go pay. Or for some of you who are developers here, you hear that P1 is charging for registration. You too want to charge for registration. What do you want to give the person where they make and they say may pay you money for registration? So you can see that different reasons. So don't do everything because this is what this person is doing. Have a motive, have an aspiration behind what you are doing. Have a reason behind what you want to do, how you do it. It might not be fast. It might not be this thing, but you know that you are going somewhere. Cheap property does not mean that people would buy it. In Lagos, for those of you who are in Lagos here, I don't know if we still have some of the realtors that joined the section from the Lagos group. For those of you know that where Isimi Lagos is in, but there's another property adjacent that place. That property is selling for as low as 25 million naira. The developer, the CEO of that company told me that for the past 2 years, they've not sold up to even 20 plots. Not to, what is 20? I think either 15 or 10 was what he was mentioning. Whereas Isimi Lagos, that is far more expensive. One plot in Isimi Lagos could buy 2-3 plots in this estate, but he is selling more than them. So that your property is cheap does not mean people would buy it. You need to sell what people are looking for. And the marketing strategy for that type of property is different from the marketing strategy for your cheap property. And as a realtor, in case you don't know, I know realtors in Lagos that are charging you for inspection. So you don't get people that will just come and waste your time. You use this, for those of you who have car, you go use your car, drive customer around town, round. At the end, they give you story. If you know the value and the worth of what you are offering, you can boldly say, for my time, I will only show you one property. Maybe I will only take you around, maybe to show you 3 properties. After that one, for every other inspection we go for, you pay so amount. Might see what other person not go sit up. But do you have that capability? Have you built that kind of brand? Can you tell a customer, sorry, I can't talk now, call me by so time? Some of you can't do that. Okay, this is not to talk down on any of you, right? The point is that I like saying the bitter truth. That's just the reality. I like to tell you the bitter truth, okay? And that is because I will not pamper you, okay? It takes pain to scale, okay? It takes pain to scale. Growth is not an easy thing. Growth is not cheap. Growth is not common. It takes pain to grow. And if you must grow in this industry, And to be your consultant or your mentor, you must pass through. I don't know how to do the shortcut method. You must take the painful route. But at the end, what I always promise anybody that I mentor is that you would stand out. You can't mention the top 10 realtors in Lagos and at least 5 will not mention my name as either their previous mentor, current mentor. So now, question as we wrap up. Okay, I still have some few points to make. Do you want to have the best? Okay, that's not really necessary. The capability may differ for each product brand and okay. Now, well, okay. Oh, school for investment. Just remind me, Shisom, I can't think of anyone off my head now. Okay, I thought that was my last slide. I didn't know I still have one. What management system are you required? System are required, sorry. Management system. If you don't have effective management system in place, supports the choice you have made in the previous step, your strategy will probably fail. So this is like for companies though. Define critical success factor and put into place system to measure and report on these steps, okay? So these are some review motivational process, performance management system, and strategic compensation to ensure that this supports the new strategy, okay? This is mainly for companies though. Ensure that the organizational system structure and process are aligned to support the strategy. This involves setting up mechanism for decision-making, resource allocation, and performance tracking. Okay, talking about resource allocation now, when you get your commission, how many % do you put back into your business in form of advertisement budgets or marketing budgets? Most of you can't do effective marketing without having a budget. The question is, how many realtor here has a budget? Indicate in the comment section if you have a budget. And I can even tell you, based on your budget, I can tell you how much sales you can make with that budget. And please be truthful. Let's start. I have a marketing budget. Indicate, yes, I have, and the amount you have specified as your marketing budget. Please, let's do that as we wrap up. Marketing budget. Not touching that part today. Marketing budget, I'm still waiting. Okay. We have KK. I do have, on the average, 50K. Sorry, I laugh. 50K is a marketing budget. Okay. Now, let me ask, what do you use this 50K for? What's the use of this 50K?
Okay, is purely for Facebook advertisements.
Facebook advertisements.
Yeah.
Okay. The other day in the last class, where's my phone? In the last class, I showed you okay, when we're even together, I think I still show you that ad, right? That I showed on the previous class. Now, can you remember how many leads were there?
I think it was about 100 and something leads or...
No, not that one. I think I showed you both a different one that has 30 something leads. From that day till now, just wanted to show you how many more leads I've entered and the expenditure for those leads there. Let's see if I can open it on time. Was
yeah, I saw that the amount spent was about 100 plus.
Yeah,
so the lead was there about 30 something or so. I don't know.
Thank you. Now the lead is about 40 something plus, and it was 30 something. Now from that day, I think that was day before yesterday we were together, if I'm not mistaken. And as of today, the leads are about 40 something, almost approaching 50. Okay, and you saw 100 something thousand there. That was what was there.
Yeah.
So the point is, the budget, that was a phase. I showed you that because that was a Facebook ad. I'm using that example because I know most persons here might only be able to afford Facebook ad. Okay. Now, ads are not going to be cheap forever. ads are getting more expensive. Okay, now let me tell you this. Let me give you, though we are not in an ad class, but let me just use this as an example. Ad that give you results, right? How do I put it? If I want to run ads, okay? If I target people that are very plenty on the platform, very plenty on the platform. Let me do it like this. Let's say I just say I want to reach doctors. I didn't specify the type of doctor. I just say doctor, right? Now, anybody that works under the medical field that answers doctor automatically would see the ad. But if I say I want neurosurgeon, for example, right? There are fewer neurosurgeons to general practicing doctor. Am I correct? Now,
Yeah.
So automatically, because there are if I target general practicing doctor, which are more on the platform, the amount I'm going to spend in that my ad will be small, right? It will cost me less to get more leads on that platform, right? Than it will cost me if I am, it will cost me less if I target general practicing doctor, but it will cost me more if I target only neurosurgeon, because it is more difficult or smaller for the platform to reach out to only start sorting the database to search for only the neurosurgeons in the platform. So that becomes more expensive. So the fewer the number, the class of people you want to target, the more expensive your ad becomes. And that is also why when you target these plenty people, for example, when you use a smaller budget, this is some of the reason why you are reaching Aboki that say they don't know when they fill your form. They can even swear with Allah that they didn't touch your form. So, and all of that. These are the reasons sometimes, okay? And also, the location you are targeting would also go a long way to determine how much you will be charged or how much it costs. Now, for example, if you are the type that watches YouTube video to learn how to run ad, your YouTube video, especially for the foreigners, now they tell you that they spend $5 per day. Now you need to convert that your $5 in Nigerian money. $5 not means saying 5,000 naira. Okay? So now, especially now that a dollar is almost 1,500, or I can't even recall how much a dollar is currently. So let's say it's 1,500. So 1,500 times 5 is how much? Can somebody answer that? 1,005 times 5? Are the mathematicians in the house? Okay, 7,500, right. Now, 7,500, let's now assume 7,500 is what this person is spending. Now, 7,500 divided by, or 50,000 divided by 7,500. How many days will the ad run? 50,000 divided by 7,500. How much would that be, please? 50,000 divided by 7,500. Somebody?
6 days.
Huh?
6 days, 6.6.
It's approximately 6 or 7, right? Now that automatically means that, let's just approximate it to 7. Thank you, Land Minister. So that automatically means that it's 7 days that your ad will last. So is this your 7,000? This is your 50,000. Sorry, if I'm not to ask you again, how many days are you planning to use it?
Okay, my daily budget most of the time is 10,000 or 7,000.
10,000 or 7,000?
Yes, sometimes 7,
Your
sometimes
total
10.
budget is 50,000.
Yes, I
So that is
just
5
run
days.
it. Yes, exactly. Because
Okay.
my idea is I initially I use sometimes before 2,000, 3,000, but lately I got to understand that why do I have to wait Because I always feel like your ads do more when it is getting it stayed much longer on Facebook. But
That is
now
true to an extent.
okay, but now I feel like what since all these people are on Facebook, so why do I have to waste that much
Okay.
time? And my last advertisement was because the land I'm promoting is really high in demand. So I just wanted the leads to come on time and then get it done.
Okay, I get that part. Now, the thing is, the part, your previous assumption was actually correct. That is the truth. It stays longer, but doesn't also mean that you should be spending small. Because when that amount is reached, your ad stops. That's what most of you don't know. When I say I want to spend 5,000 naira per day, and they see that when it gets to that 5,000, even if it is morning to 10 o'clock, that 5,000 is reached, right? Then they will spend extra 20%. The platform will tell you if you put money, if you have been conscious of that, you specify your daily budget. At the bottom, it will write to you that they are going to spend about 20% higher than that your amount you just specified. Now, if you do all of that, right? And let's say after spending 20%, maybe by 12 o'clock, your 5,000 plus the 20% of 5,000 has been reached. Your ad is not delivering again. No. Your ad is just showing active, but it's not they go anywhere again. Nobody they see them. It will just be there. So maybe the people you are targeting now are not the type
Sorry,
of
come again, sir. I didn't hear that, sir. I just
I
said the
said,
ad is not delivering again.
yes,
I didn't
if
get that
you
reason.
say you want to spend 5,000 per day, right? That your 5,000 can be exhausted from, let's say, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. So 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
That, let's say that 5,000 is exhausted within that space of time. Now, from that 11 a.m. to the next hour, your ad is not delivering again. I don't know if you are getting the point.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Now, what if the people that are to see your ad, the main people that are supposed to, you are targeting, maybe there are people that doesn't come online at that hour where your money has already finished. Maybe they will come, maybe there are people that only come online in the evening. What happens? Are you getting the concept?
Yeah.
So put in enough money that can carry you throughout the day. For now, it's only Google ad that allows you to pick specific hours of the day. Google ad allows you to pick maybe morning alone, afternoon alone, evening alone. Google ads you can pick the timing you want your ad to be active. Okay. So that is another area you need to understand about advertisements, right? So the point is that sometimes the reason why we don't sell enough is because we don't spend enough. Low marketing budget is the major problem of some businesses. Some, at least even they could say you even get low. Some people not get at all. You can see how many people that were able to indicate in this place. Let me even go back again and see. Only you indicated, then Chisom say, I haven't started. I plan to incorporate it in the future, 10% of my profit. So you can see, imagine, I know the number of people have reduced. Imagine we have 20-something persons in this place. And it seems like you are the only one that has a marketing budget. So as a business, you must have a marketing budget. Okay, how much do you want to spend to stand in front of the people that will buy your products? The problem is that that's why my friend Ezekiel will always say, you don't have a closing problem. The problem you have is that you are not standing in front of enough of the people that are meant to buy your products. You are not visible to the people that should buy your products. That is the thing. Consistency of interaction leads to familiarity, and consistent familiarity leads to trust. Okay? So when I keep seeing you over and over and over, I get to trust you that, okay, I think I know this person. I think I know this person. I think I know this person. Even if I don't need property, but somebody tell me that, do you know someone that sell property in Asaba? I can, because I've been seeing you consistently online, I could tell somebody that I know this guy that's always running advert or that is always creating content about real estate online. I could recommend you without even patronizing you. Recommendation or referral will not only come from those who have bought from you. So take note of that. Okay? So this is how the system works. So spend enough. And the idea to, if I'm dealing with a company, I tell them to use 5 to 8% of their revenue target. That is what they should use for marketing. Some people will even tell you to use 15. If you say you want, like one of the companies that told me they want 10 billion naira in sales, I did the arithmetic for them and said, okay, what's your marketing budget? They are mentioning how many 100,000. Hundreds of thousands when you are talking about 10 billion in sales target. After making the arithmetic, they were supposed to spend over close to 20 million naira on advertisements. If you can't spend this, I can consult for you. Simple. So that is how it also applies to you. You want to make 1 billion naira in sales, please, what's 5% of 1 billion? Be ready to spend that. And the beautiful thing is that you don't need to spend all of it once. As you are spending, you are making money and you are putting in more. That's how it goes. But at least there must be a minimum starting point. All right, so I think I don't talk finish. Thank you. God bless you. And how are you?
Thank you, sir.
Let's just take like 2 or 3 more questions. Our time is fast spent. In fact, 2 questions. This is past 11. I didn't want. So, Augusta, ask your question, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you for your time and the knowledge you've been pouring. Sincerely, it's been amazing, and I'm thankful for that. So you mentioned something that someone who bought a land to build is not an investor.
I said so.
So with that, I want to now ask, a residential building, like someone building a family house, would you classify it as an investment or what?
When you say family building.
Yeah, like building a house to live in, that you're not generating any revenue from.
That's what I'm referring to now. That's the kind of house I'm referring to. Okay, now the first thing is, what is an investor?
An investor is someone that putting money or resources in something in order for it to yield more than what you've put in, so that you can yield more. It could be money or anything.
Now I buy land to build house so that I can live there. So should you call me an investor?
No, it's not. So that brought me to the because I've always believed that it is not an investment, and I always say so. So the last time I got a friend of mine was arguing that he's actually a man, he's into oil and gas. So we argued for more than 1 hour on phone. I think close to 2 hours. So I was giving him my points, various points, and he was still giving his. And I told him that this is just like a legacy. You are not getting anything from it. So he kept on giving me points and points and points. So that's why I brought it up again. Because I told him, if not, why do banks not take I'm not sure banks take your property when you are trying to borrow money, signing something, collateral or what. So that's what led to because you mentioned about building a house is building is someone who bought to build is not an investor. So that's why I have to bring it up.
Okay, the thing is, the idea I'm trying to pass is not really about just buying to build. People can buy and build residential property for rental purpose to earn rental income. Okay, you can class that as an investment. Now, the objective behind it, okay, the idea of most people that are buying land is just that I want to buy land and build house one day. That is just their common idea about land. But real estate is actually bigger than just buying land to build house, okay? There's a lot involved in real estate. And that was the reason why I say that most persons should learn. I think it was Christopher was answering that you should learn about real estate and other things about investment. The topic about investment is broad, okay? So, and it's not something I can easily just answer as a one-off response right now. But like I still maintain my point. Just buying a house, now it now has context. There's context to this. Now people can say, because investment sometimes is not only about making profit, but rather it could also be as a means of saving money, okay? So one can also then say that, okay, what about, because I no longer pay rent, that should be termed as an investment. In that context, they could be right, okay? In that context, they could be right. That's why it is actually, this is a topic with context, okay? So it depends on the context the person is speaking from. But on the general notes to say, I can class you as a real estate investor because you buy land to say you want to build house for yourself, for you and your family to live. You are not an investor. I still maintain my stand in this particular context. Okay. So that is what I just need to tell you. So you were right. I don't know if you said the customer was the one that was saying that, but either you or the customer, the person that was maintaining the stand that buying land and just building a house is not an investment. That is actually true. It's not an investment, but under some context, it can be right. It can be wrong under some context, which is the example I just gave to you. Okay, because investing money shouldn't only be about making profit. Investing money sometimes in some context, on a 99% of the cases, it should be about making money, but it should also be about saving the money. Okay, so that's the idea about it. So now moving on, okay, you also made a point that if other banks don't collect that, I don't know if you say it's the client that made that comment. Yes, bank collects residential houses, provided it has the necessary document. Yeah, the collect. You see some occasion whereby somebody is living in a house, they couldn't pay back a bank loan, and the bank comes to seize the house where they are living. Okay, so but it also has to depend on the class of the house. They will come and do an assessment on the house and all of that. Okay, so that's my point. Then for the question on the comment section says, for instance, I use 10K to run ad. How many hours can this amount? Okay, so I don't know how I'm going to really answer this question, but the thing is that it's not like there are a lot of factors, right, that determines how much you are charged. That aspect I explained earlier is just like one aspect. Okay, now there are a lot of factors that come to play when it comes to how much you get charged for for ads. Now, because there is I know you are just new to this group. There's one of the things I explained in one of the class where I talked about what's the word again? Where I talked about relevancy score. So I don't know, I'm always forgetting the word relevancy score. Okay. When I talk about relevancy score, what do I really mean when I say relevancy score? How relevant, right, is the ad to the people you are targeting will go a long way to determine whether you get charged high or you get charged low. Okay. Now let's say we both run ad. Chris Barsi and Chris Moses run ads, right? Now, Chris Moses decide to use content that are not relevant to the target audience, while Chris Barsi use content that is relevant to the target audience. Now, Chris Moses decided to spend 10,000 naira per day, and Chris Bassi, whose content is relevant to the target audience, decided to also use the same 10,000 naira per day, right? And they both get lead. Whose lead will be more expensive and whose lead will be less expensive? The person whose ad content is less relevant or not relevant to the target audience would be charged more. And since he gets charged more, his ad will be more expensive, okay, which means his money will run out fast, because let's say one person filled the form, they collect 5,000 because the ad is not relevant to that person, to the person I'm targeting. But your ad, because it's relevant to the person you are targeting, you get charged 2,000 naira, which means in your 10,000 naira, you could get up to 5 lead. But for me, if they keep charging me for 5,000, which means only 2 lead, I'll be able to generate without my 10,000 naira. Okay? So, and even when showing the ad, let's say we both start up the ad at the same time, we are targeting the people. The order of how the ad will be shown, the person whose relevancy score is higher, that person's ad will be shown first before me, whose relevancy score is low. My ad will be shown after the person whose relevancy score is high first. Okay, I don't know if I get your answer your question, but that is, and somehow if is a bit complex thing to explain. Okay, so that's just it. So I guess I've answered your question. What are the requirements for and cost of your mentorship? Can it effectively include one at distance? Yes, I have mentees in Asaba here. I have mentees. I'm based in Lagos, but currently I'm in Asaba. I came for a project. I'm in Asaba. I have mentees in Abuja, and so I have mentees in Port Harcourt. So I have mentees across, especially the real estate sector. I have mentees across the different across the country. But nevertheless, I wouldn't want us to start using that to keep the class and everybody on. So if you, I shared a number on the WhatsApp group earlier. I don't know if you got that number. The number that is 07066557788. So if you got that number, you can shout up that number. I'll likely be there. In fact, that I will be the one to respond to you on that number. Okay, so we can talk better on that. So know where you can fit in. It's not all of even the mentorship group that everybody's qualified to join. So we have to talk to know where you fit in first and where we are taking you from. Okay, so that's the point. I have mentors in Imo State. So mentees in Imo State, I mean. So that's just what I have to say concerning that. So our time is fast spent. This is 11:34. Please, let's end the class. We have tried. In fact, you guys have tried.